Chapter 785. He knew that Ningqing coveted his star vein, but he did not expect Ningqing to have such a move. Do you want the key? For Duangantai, if Ningqing's asking price was too high, he would rather not take it and destroy it. He had obtained many good things in the Guardian Temple, but without the Temple of Time, it would be gone. Shui Wuchang's voice sounded with a slight tremble. The base price of this perpetual moontime key is 10 star veins, and each increment must be no less than 1 star vein. Even though she knew that the starting price was based on star veins, she still couldn't help but tremble when she quoted this price. She had never seen anyone using star veins to bid for something. Duangantai clenched his fists. As long as Ningqing quoted more than 10 star veins, he would give up on it and destroy it. This was different from when he bought the first key with 20 star veins. He had to buy that key. Otherwise, Ningqing might obtain the Temple of Time. If this key to the Temple of Time ended up destroyed, he wouldn't be able to obtain it, and neither would Ningqing. He did not expect Ningqing to quote 10 star veins, which was within the range of what he wanted. This fellow was truly cunning. Ningqing had asked for 10 starry sky spiritual veins after careful consideration. He knew that if the price was too high, Duangantai might not want it. This fellow was not only insidious, but also decisive. He wanted to quote a price that would make it hard for Duangantai to choose. Even if he really bought it, it wouldn't hurt him too much. With Duangantai's net worth, 10 starry sky essence chi spirit veins would be just right. As soon as the price of 10 starry sky essence chi spirit veins came out, everyone felt amazed. Even the powerhouses in the private booths felt completely shocked. Even they couldn't take out 10 star veins easily. At this time, the auction hall quietened down. Perhaps everyone wanted to see if anyone would bid for 11 star veins. Duangantai did not bid. 11 star veins wouldn't hurt him too much. Moreover, he was willing to take out 11 spirit veins to purchase this perpetual moontime key. However, he did not like the feeling of being schemed against, especially by Ningqing. It had always been him, Duangantai, who schemed against others. But since when did it become others' turn to scheme against him? Duangantai? Even if he wanted to buy this key, he would use his own way to do it. He would never let others control him. Previously, he had no choice but to take back his first perpetual moontime key. But now he had no other choice. After a few minutes, no one bid, including Duangantai. Ningqing couldn't sit still. He didn't want to destroy this perpetual moontime key. Ningqing felt that Duangantai wouldn't. Duangantai would suffer no loss. Duan Tian would suffer a huge loss. Chen would Ning Tian's the perpetual Gantai. If Duangantai truly didn't want to bid, then he would have to destroy this perpetual moontime key. Although Duangantai wouldn't suffer any loss, it would be his loss. That Yangcheng. Tian might. If Cheng didn't ve Tian Cheng's dong, Tian would Cheng Chink Tian's not. Cheng wanted to Tian Tian Tian. Du. Cheng wanted to Cheng Tian to say. And dun Tian Cheng Tian Cheng. Cheng. And Cheng. I King Cheng. Not. Tung. Tian. Dong. He, if I were elder brother Ning, I would now take back the destroyed key, and then privately trade with this little brother. This little brother might even agree to it. Otherwise, we'll break up. Ningqing initially wanted to threaten Duangantai with a few words, but after hearing Duangantai's words, he immediately felt unhappy. Brother Duan doesn't like to be threatened, and it just so happens that I don't like to be threatened either. Since that's the case, then let's part ways. For the sake of 10 star veins, he wanted to go back on his words, and then beg Duangantai. Only in his dreams would he be able to retract his words. Duangantai felt shocked when he heard Ningqing's words. He truly felt afraid that Ningqing would go all in and destroy the perpetual moontime key. Shui Wuchang's voice broke the silence on the scene. No one has bid for the perpetual moontime key so far. Now entering the countdown. When Duangantai heard the countdown timer, he knew that he had to make a choice. He didn't like being threatened, but the Temple of Time was something he had long wanted to seize. He had obtained the Temple of Time much longer than the Guardian Temple. Even before the Guardian Temple. Now that he was about to get his hands on it, how could he be willing to destroy it in front of him? Just as Duangantai clenched his fists and prepared to be threatened again, and Ning Cheng lamented in his heart. A sudden voice rang out in the auction hall. I bid 11 star veins. Did someone really bid? Not only Duan Gantai, but even Ning Cheng felt stunned. He had bid 10 star veins to trick Duan Gantai, but he had never thought of tricking others. Now that Duan Gantai had failed, he ended up tricking others. After a period of silence, the auction hall once again turned restless. They had never expected to see someone use 11 star veins to buy a key. Shui Wuchang also breathed a sigh of relief. To be honest, although she knew that this key no longer belonged to her, she still felt a little reluctant to destroy this perpetual moon time key, which she had once obtained on the spot. Now that someone bid, she naturally felt relieved and spoke up in a loud voice. Booth 7 has bid 11 star veins. Is there any higher bid? 11 star veins going once. Ning Cheng couldn't help but sigh at Duan Gantai's shrewdness. He didn't even bid. Even after Shui Wuchang called out 3 times, Duan Gantai didn't continue to increase the price. In the end, the perpetual moon time key went to the person from booth 7. However, this wasn't a bad thing for Ning Cheng. He didn't have to care about the person from booth 7, who bought the perpetual moon time key. As long as Duan Gantai wanted something from the Temple of Time, he would have to coordinate with the person from booth 7 and himself. Congratulations to the friend from booth 7 for winning the perpetual moon time key. With Shui Wuchang's congratulations, the perpetual moon time key, which only one person bid, finally sold. Only one person bid, but it ended up with the highest price in the entire auction, which was quite a strange thing. Shui Wuchang raised a jade box again and said, Next, we're going to auction a set of Accordance Heavenly Pills. You didn't hear it wrong. Not one, but a set of 6. Moreover, each of the Accordance Heavenly Pills in this set is top quality. If I'm not wrong, only Grand Culmination Starry Sky's premier pill Emperor Tsang Tsaiha could refine Accordance Heavenly Pills of this grade. If the previous items were too far away from ordinary cultivators, then the Accordance Heavenly Pills were close to every cultivator in the hall who came to participate in the auction. What made these cultivators feel conflicted was, why did they have to auction it in a group? Wouldn't it be better to auction it one by one? The base price of this set of Accordance Heavenly Pills is 60 million Perpetual Moon Pills. Each bid must be at least 1 million Perpetual Moon Pills. The bidding starts now. As Shui Wuchang announced the price on the bidding screen quickly flipped. The cultivators in the hall immediately started looking for partners. After all, there were 6 Accordance Heavenly Pills, and with 6 people jointly bidding, each person would get one. In the end, the 6 people in the hall jointly bought this set of Accordance Heavenly Pills for 230 million Perpetual Moon Pills. Not everyone could be as rich as Duan Gantai or Ning Cheng. Therefore, the 6 people jointly took out more than 200 million Perpetual Moon Pills, which was already considered the richest among the rich. Ning Cheng had his own reasons for taking out this set of Accordance Heavenly Pills for auction. Moreover, more than 200 million Perpetual Moon Pills made him feel very satisfied. Following the auction, another 7 or 8 items appeared, but Ning Cheng did not bid. Ning Cheng also noticed that Duan Gantai had not called out a single bid since the start of the auction. The next item is a top-grade Starry Sky Spirit Fruit. I believe that many people have already guessed it. Yes, it's the Starry Sky Radish Grass that we advertised. The Starry Sky Radish Grass is a treasure that can be used to refine Eternal Emperor Continuance Pills. It is a supreme spirit fruit that can help life and death experts advance to the eternal realm. I believe that many of you came here for the Starry Sky Radish Grass. Shui Wuchang's words were not wrong. If the Accordance Heavenly Pill was something that all Heaven's Mandate cultivators desperately needed, then the Starry Sky Radish Grass was naturally a treasure that life and death experts could only dream of. Not to mention others, even Ning Cheng and Duan Gantai had come here specifically for the Starry Sky Radish Grass. Although the Accordance Heavenly Pill was precious, its grade wasn't too high. Ordinary pill emperors could refine it as long as they had the corresponding Starry Sky Spirit Grasses. However, ordinary pill emperors couldn't refine Eternal Emperor Continuance Pills. More importantly, the main ingredient for refining the Eternal Emperor Continuance Pill, the Starry Sky Radish Grass, was something that could only be found by chance. As soon as the Starry Sky Radish Grass came out, Duan Gontai immediately put aside the matter of the perpetual moontime key. Even if he wanted to negotiate with the cultivator, who bought the perpetual moontime key, he would have to wait until he obtained the starry sky radish grass. Moreover, he also guessed that Ningqing might have come here for the starry sky radish grass. In any case, he couldn't let Ningqing obtain the starry sky radish grass. Ningqing and Duan Gontai focused their attention, as did the rest of the cultivators who came here for the starry sky radish grass. Shui Wuchang displayed the jade box containing the starry sky radish grass in her hand and spoke. The starting price for the starry sky radish grass is 1 million permanent essence pills. Each bid must be at least 100,000 permanent essence pills. Let the bidding begin. This price immediately dispelled many cultivators' thoughts of competing. Even among life and death cultivators, not everyone could come up with millions of permanent essence pills. Moreover, the starting price for this starry sky radish grass was just too high. If it were an eternal emperor continuance pill, then the starting price would be 1 million permanent essence pills. A starry sky radish grass dared to start at 1 million permanent essence pills. This was simply a sky-high price without even asking for money. Although the asking price for the starry sky radish grass was indeed high, no matter how high the price was, people would still want it in this kind of auction. Thinking about the perpetual moontime key, people would even want it for 11 star veins, let alone a mere 1 million permanent essence pills. Every cultivator who advanced to the life and death realm wanted eternity. However, there was only a small amount of opportunity for eternity. If one didn't grasp even a little bit of it, they might miss out on a lifetime. 1 million permanent essence pills. 3 million permanent essence pills. 2 million permanent essence pills. 2 million. The price of the starry sky radish grass quickly reached 4 million permanent essence pills. This price was already very high, but someone called out again at this time. I bid 3 million permanent essence pills. I must get this starry sky radish grass. Chapter 786. As soon as this voice came out, everyone didn't even need to look at the words on the big screen to know that it came from booth 19. Most of the cultivators didn't expect that booth 19, after experiencing Ningqing's face-slapping incident, would come up with such a method. However, everyone understood that the cultivator in booth 19 was also at the late-stage life and death realm. If he wanted to advance to the perpetual moon realm, he naturally needed the starry sky radish grass. Although the starry sky radish grass was precious, most eternal cultivators wouldn't put it in their eyes. Since booth 19 got slapped in the face by Ningqing, in addition to the urgent need for the starry sky radish grass, he also wanted to quickly regain his face. Cultivators who knew about the origins of booth 19 naturally wouldn't offend him for a starry sky radish grass. Booth 19 bid 3 million permanent essence pills. Is there any higher bid than 3 million? If there is no higher bid than 3 million permanent essence pills, then this starry sky radish grass, which can be used to refine the eternal emperor continuance pill, belongs to booth 19. Shui Wuchang didn't rush to call out the number of times this time. No matter how great one's background was, the auction house couldn't give face every time. Shui Wuchang, as the host of the auction, naturally wouldn't teach her this. 4 million permanent essence pills. Another new price brushed down the 3 million permanent essence pills bid. It felt as if booth 19's warning was equivalent to a fart. After booth 19 said that he wanted it, someone still increased the price. Moreover, it was 1 million permanent essence pills, which was tantamount to a slap in the face. No matter which booth made the bid, it was bound to create displeasure with booth 19. Everyone immediately stared at the huge bidding screen, wanting to know who would continue to slap their faces. When everyone saw the row of words in front of the bid, the entire venue started to talk again. At the top of the bidding screen it read, Row 40 Seat 163, bid 4 million permanent essence pills for the starry sky radish grass, currently the highest bid. A price of 4 million permanent essence pills wasn't unusual. Besides, there were many wealthy cultivators who could come to this auction. What was unusual was that the cultivator who made the bid still sat in an ordinary seat in the hall, not in a booth at all. The life and death cultivator in booth 19 trembled with anger. He never expected that the cultivator sitting in the hall would slap his face again and again. Did he think he was easy to bully because he had been slapped in the face? Previously, when he was slapped in the face, the reason why he hadn't taken revenge until now was because he was still in the auction, not because he didn't dare to take revenge. These country bumpkins probably came from another starry sky and did not know who he was. I request to negotiate with row 40, seat 163. What made people speechless was that room 19 once again said that he wanted to negotiate with the bidders in the hall. This time, Shui Wuchang did not answer directly. Instead, she pressed a button. After a few breaths, the previous voice once again reverberated in the auction hall. Room 19 is allowed to negotiate with the guests in the hall for no more than half a quarter of an hour. At the same time, I would like to make an announcement. After this auction, no negotiation is allowed in the auction house. Only the price is allowed. Because this kind of negotiation had occurred twice in this auction, the Ash Pagoda Chamber of Commerce felt that there was something wrong with their rules. Just because this kind of thing didn't happen usually didn't mean it never happened. However, they couldn't remove this rule now, so they could only agree to Room 19's negotiation request again. Everyone knew that Room 19's actions made the auction house unhappy. If not for the face of the person behind Room 19, the auction house might have rejected it directly. Room 19's door opened again, and the late-stage life and death cultivator sitting in the middle stopped his attendant from going out. Apparently, he had learned his lesson from Ning Cheng's mistake and intended to negotiate by himself. Seeing the man from room 19 walk towards row 40 of the hall, the people in the venue immediately observed a moment of silence for the cultivator in row 40, seat 163. Being rich wasn't a bad thing, but being rich also required a little bit of heart. This person obviously wanted to get back at him for the previous slap in the face. Ning Cheng felt a little speechless. He hadn't even bid yet this fellow from room 19 had already started fighting with Duan Gantai. Although this fellow was a late-stage life and death cultivator, he was nothing compared to Duan Gantai. I know that you're also a life and death cultivator, but I won't let you suffer a loss. Give me this starry sky radish grass at the same price. The life and death cultivator walked up to Duan Gantai and spoke with a slightly indifferent tone. It wasn't like what others thought, that he just wanted to get back his face. Rather, he really wanted this starry sky radish grass. Otherwise, he wouldn't have used such a negotiating tone. Moreover, his words weren't completely unreasonable. Duan Gantai slowly stood up and stared at the cultivator without speaking. The life and death cultivator from room 19, on seeing Duan Gantai's unfriendly gaze, frowned slightly and said, "I'm from Scram." Without waiting for the life and death cultivator from room 19 to finish his words, Duan Gantai shouted out the word "Scram" and raised his hand to slap him. Seeing Ning Cheng take out the perpetual moon time key for the auction, Duan Gantai felt extremely unhappy. He didn't dare to make a move against Ning Cheng, but at this time, someone actually dared to speak up. How could he let it go? It was always him, Duan Gantai, who forced others. Since when did someone dare to force him, Duan Gantai? He didn't care about the person behind room 19. Even if it was Qiao Jierwei, so what? Could he even pull out a single hair from his body? The life and death cultivator from room 19 didn't expect that a fellow in the hall would dare to take the initiative to attack him. The difference in strength between him and Duan Gantai was like heaven and earth. Coupled with the fact that he wasn't prepared, Duan Gantai's slap sent him flying. Bang! Duan Gantai once again slapped the cultivator against the main stage's restrictions, causing a burst of alarms to erupt. Everyone felt completely stunned. What the hell was going on? The rogue cultivator from row 39 had only made a move when others were ready to make a move. But now, the cultivator in row 40 seemed to have a bigger temper compared to the one in room 19. He even made the first move. Not only did he make the first move, but he also sent a late-stage life and death cultivator flying with a slap. This kind of strength was just too powerful. The life and death cultivator from room 19 stood up, and didn't even bother to check the blood at the corner of his mouth. Instead, his killing intent erupted out in a crazy manner. The next moment, a weapon appeared in his hand. He felt that he had suffered a lifetime of insults in this place. Just when he was about to rush to row 40, the cold voice from the auction house rang out again. If you dare to make another move, you will die without mercy. The life and death cultivator from room 19 felt as if a bucket of cold water had been poured over him when he heard those words. He knew that if he dared to continue, the auction house would truly kill him. He put away his weapon, glanced at Ningcheng and Duan Gantai with a cold gaze, then turned around and left. Not only did he not say a word, but he also didn't even enter the booth. Since the owner had already left, his 2 followers quickly followed him out. No one stopped him. The auction house could leave at any time, but after leaving, no one was allowed to enter. Everyone understood that the cultivator from room 19 had gone back to get reinforcements. As soon as the auction ended, rows 30 and 40 in the hall would face a life and death test. Shui Wuchang looked at Duan Gantai in a daze. How did the man she almost married become so powerful? She subconsciously looked at Ningcheng again. Speaking of which, the one who made the most intimate gesture with her wasn't Duan Gantai, but Ningcheng. Thinking of the scene when Ningcheng held her in his arms, her body almost softened. It was Ningcheng who hugged her and said to her, "Junior apprentice Sister Wuchang, I finally understand what love at first sight is." But after she left, she found that her perpetual moon time key had disappeared. Her gaze shifted from Ningcheng to Duan Gantai, and felt that both of them were equally insidious. Thinking about how these 2 people almost destroyed the entire Shui clan, she sneered in her heart. The cultivator from room 19 indeed had a powerful background, but if he wanted to take revenge on these 2 people, he probably wouldn't be able to do so. No one understood Ningcheng and Duan Gantai's treachery better than her. Even Shui clan's spiritual vein had almost been taken away by these 2 people. In fact, Shui Wuchang truly wronged Ningcheng. Ningcheng had only taken away Shui Wuchang's perpetual moon time key. Moreover, it was Duan Gantai who wanted to take away Shui clan's starry sky spiritual vein. If not for Ningcheng, Duan Gantai would have already taken away Shui clan's spiritual vein. It stood to reason that Ningcheng was the one who helped Shui clan keep the starry sky spiritual vein. After the matter calmed down a little, Shui Wuchang spoke up. Friend from row 40, number 163, bids 4 million permanent essence pills. Is there a higher price? No one continued to increase the price. If Ningcheng's matter was a coincidence, then Duan Gantai's matter was the only explanation. That is, everyone who came to participate in this auction, whether sitting in the hall or in the booths. Don't underestimate this person. Maybe he's a powerhouse. What's more, 4 million permanent essence pills for a starry sky radish grass had already exceeded the price of the radish grass itself. Duan Gantai glanced at Ningcheng. He thought that Ningcheng would bid against him, but he didn't expect Ningcheng to not increase the price. Ningcheng couldn't outbid him, which he knew very well. But Ningcheng didn't bid against him out of kindness, which made him feel a little puzzled. He had already decided that once Ningcheng increased the price, he would also increase the price. He didn't believe that Ningcheng could beat him. Even if he had to take out a few dozen more star veins, he still wanted to vent his anger. But now that Ningcheng didn't bid, it felt as if he had punched the air, making him feel uncomfortable. 4 million permanent essence pills going once. 4 million permanent essence pills going twice. 4 million permanent essence pills going thrice. Congratulations to this friend from row 40, number 163. For winning the Starry Sky Radish Grass for 4 million permanent essence pills. As Shui Wuchang's voice fell, the auction for the Starry Sky Radish Grass came to an end. Chapter 787. When Ningcheng put up the Accordance Heavenly Pills for sale, he already had the intention to give up. He could feel Duan Gantai's determination. If he wanted to bid for the Starry Sky Radish Grass, he would have no choice but to fight against Duan Gantai. He obviously didn't have as much wealth as Duan Gantai. Comparing spiritual veins to Duan Gantai was just a brainless idiot. But using too many spiritual veins to bid for the Starry Sky Radish Grass was even more of a brainless idiot. As for asking Duan Gantai for more star veins, Ningcheng didn't even think about it. In his plan, he had to reserve Duan Gantai's star veins. How could he give it to the auction house? Duan Gantai had just traded for the Starry Sky Radish Grass when Ningcheng's sound transmission arrived. Congratulations to Brother Duan for the starry sky radish grass. To let Brother Duan spend less permanent essence pills, I had to hold back. Duan Gantai also replied with a sound transmission. Brother Ning, it's good that you held back. In fact, Brother Ning can't hold back. Brother Duan, do you know who sold that set of special grade accordance heavenly pills? And do you know who refined it? Ningqing didn't care about Duan Gantai's sarcasm, and continued with a sound transmission. As soon as Ningcheng said those words, Duan Gantai understood Ningcheng's meaning. He sneered and replied, Brother Ning, don't tell me that you refined it, and then you want to help me refine the Eternal Emperor Continuance pills? Ningqing showed a smile. Brother Duan guessed it right. I really refined that set of accordance heavenly pills. Since I can refine special grade accordance heavenly pills, it naturally means that I'm a Starry Sky Grade 9 Pill Emperor. Brother Duan obtained the Starry Sky Radish Grass, but without someone to help you refine the pills. Even if Brother Duan obtained the Starry Sky Radish Grass, it would be in vain. Brother Duan, do you think that pill emperors who can refine Starry Sky Grade 9 pills are everywhere? If Brother Duan really thinks so, then forget what I said. Duan Gantai spoke up with a cold voice. No wonder Brother Ning not only didn't compete, but also took out a set of accordance heavenly pills for sale. Brother Ning truly has a good plan. As for whether I ask Brother Ning to refine the pills, it depends on my mood. Duan Gantai naturally didn't want to ask Ningcheng for alchemy. He knew that as long as he invited Ningcheng for alchemy, he wouldn't be able to do anything to Ningcheng even if the refining failed. Moreover, he knew that Ningcheng wouldn't be so if he failed. Similarly, he also knew that what Ningcheng had just said was the truth. Ningcheng didn't continue to pester Duan Gantai. He believed that as long as Duan Gantai wanted the Eternal Emperor Continuance pill, he would find him sooner or later. As for Tsang Tsaiha he was also a member of his mysterious yellow sect. As the auction continued, Duan Gantai seemed to know that he had become a character of the hour. As such, he continued to bid for things. Over the past few days, the frequency of his actions was the highest in the entire auction hall. After witnessing the ferocity of Duan Gantai's bid, no one was willing to stand up and compete with Duan Gantai. They all seemed to know that in terms of wealth, this cultivator sitting in the middle of the hall was the richest. Ningcheng had also bought a few auxiliary spiritual grasses for refining the Eternal Emperor Continuance pill, as well as some high-quality artifact crafting materials. Regardless of whether Duan Gantai cooperated with him or not, he had to find the Starry Sky Radish Grass to refine the Eternal Emperor Continuance pill. Naturally, he would not let go of these supplementary spiritual herbs that could be used to concoct the Eternal Emperor Continuance pill. As for leaving the auction venue in advance, Ningcheng did not even think about it. This kind of auction was definitely rare. He was not short of time, so why was he in a hurry to leave? Besides, he still had to wait for Duan Gantai to give him a reply. Halfway through the auction, the entire auction venue came to know that there were two rich fellows in the hall. As long as these two fellows started competing for treasures, no matter how many permanent essence pills they had, they would definitely bid for them back. On the last day of the auction, Ningcheng felt that nothing good would come out. But Shui Wucheng suddenly raised a wooden box. As soon as the wooden box was raised, Ningcheng felt the underworld crow ghost rot tan tremble, and a trace of excitement emerged from it. This is a wood origin crystal. I believe that any wood-attributed cultivator, or even an alchemy cultivator, would be interested in this wood origin crystal. Everyone knows that among the 5 origin crystals, the wood origin crystal is the most difficult to produce. Even 100 earth origin crystals wouldn't be worth as much as a wood origin crystal. The base price of this wood origin crystal is 500,000 permanent essence pills, and each increase in price must be no less than 10,000 permanent essence pills. Shui Wucheng's words sounded a bit exaggerated. But even so, as soon as her voice fell, many cultivators started to crazily increase the price. Ningcheng understood from the message from the underworld crow ghost rot tan that if the underworld crow ghost rot tan swallowed the wood origin crystal, the underworld crow ghost rot tan would advance to another level. Although Ningcheng rarely relied on the underworld crow ghost rot tan in battle, it would naturally be for the best if the underworld crow ghost rot tan could advance to another level. Ning Cheng valued the underworld crow ghost rot tan because of the eternal night domains wood transformation forest. If not for the underworld crow ghost rot tan, he wouldn't have been able to break through the wood transformation forest so easily. From the underworld crow ghost rot tan's thoughts, Ning Cheng felt that as long as the underworld crow ghost rot tan advanced to another level, it would reach Starry Sky Grade 7, which was equivalent to a powerhouse in the heaven-seeded realm. If Ning Cheng was poor, he wouldn't have cared. But now, not only was he not poor, but he was also very rich. Ning Cheng hadn't even started bidding when the price rose to 1.6 million permanent essence pills. Ning Cheng directly called out a price of 3 million permanent essence pills, and when the price was called out, the previous enthusiastic bids paused for a moment, but only for a moment. Soon, someone refreshed Ning Cheng's bid with 3.1 million permanent essence pills. The one who refreshed Ning Cheng's bid was Booth 10. Many of the cultivators were speculating, if Ning Cheng had not clashed with the cultivator from Booth 19, would the cultivator from Booth 10 use the same method as the cultivator from Booth 19 to suppress Ning Cheng? 4 million permanent essence pills. Ning Cheng refreshed the price again without hesitation. Star veins and permanent essence pills were the last things he lacked right now. This friend in row 39, seat 137, has bid 4 million permanent essence pills. Is there a higher price? As Shui Wuchang's voice called out the price, everyone immediately looked at Booth 10. They wanted to know if Booth 10 would fly into a rage out of shame after the cultivator in the hall snatched the wood origin crystal. To the disappointment of most cultivators, Booth 10 didn't stand up to negotiate with Ning Cheng. As such, Ning Cheng obtained the wood origin crystal without any accident. Although wood origin crystals were many times more precious than other origin crystals, Ning Cheng's bid of 4 million permanent essence pills far exceeded the value of the wood origin crystal itself. In fact, a wood origin crystal would already be worth more than 1 million permanent essence pills, which made the people in the auction hall sigh. Permanent essence pills truly felt good. For the rest of the auction, Ning Cheng didn't bid again. The final item was a good grade flame. Since there were too many cultivators competing for the flame, Ning Cheng also didn't bid. He had the flame, but it wasn't something he had to obtain. If he bid for everything, he would offend too many people. After the flame was won by the cultivator in Booth 3, Ash Pagoda Chamber of Commerce's auction also came to an end. Many cultivators left the auction hall, and Ning Cheng also stood up. He didn't go out but walked towards the auction's consignment channel. All the cultivators who had submitted their items for auction could enter through this passage and take away the items they had obtained through the auction. Duan Gantai didn't go out immediately. He saw Ning Cheng stand up and enter the consignment channel, but instead walked towards Booth 7. Although the auction ended, not many cultivators remained in the public square in front of Ash Pagoda Chamber of Commerce. These cultivators wanted to see what kind of blow would befall Ning Cheng and Duan Gantai after coming out. There were also some cultivators who wanted to know who the person in box 19 was. Ning Cheng walked out of the auction hall with satisfaction. He truly didn't suffer a loss this time. In this auction, he not only obtained many things he wanted, but also a low-rank spirit artifact long spear. In addition to that, the number of star veins, permanent essence pills, and perpetual moon pills not only didn't decrease, but also increased. He now had more than 30 starry sky essence chi spirit veins, 20 million permanent essence pills, and 1.2 billion perpetual moon pills. Moreover, he bought a lot of things. Otherwise, he would have even more. He came out. As soon as Ning Cheng came out, some cultivators saw his figure. Ning Cheng immediately saw the male cultivator in the life and death realm in Booth 19. This male cultivator in the life and death realm had 2 eternal level experts beside him, one of whom was at the late stage eternal realm, and the other at the early stage eternal realm. No wonder this fellow dared to cheat him of his spirit veins in the auction. It turns out that he had 2 eternal level experts backing him. Ning Cheng wondered why he didn't see Duan Gantai. How could the life and death realm cultivator in Booth 19 let go of Duan Gantai? He had cheated Booth 19 of 5 million permanent essence pills, but Duan Gantai had slapped that fellow away with a single slap. It stood to reason that Duan Gantai had a deeper grudge against him. Just as Ning Cheng felt puzzled, His spiritual consciousness swept out and detected Duan Gantai coming out of the auction hall. Seeing Duan Gantai come out after him, Ningqing instantly understood what Duan Gantai was up to. He sneered in his heart. This fellow really wanted to find a hole to crawl into. No matter how cunning you are, you wouldn't have thought that I wouldn't use the perpetual moontime key. It's the two of them. One forcibly took away my 5 million permanent essence pills, and the other sneak attacked me at the auction. The Life and Death Realm cultivator in booth 19 immediately called out when he saw Ningqing and Duan Gantai. At this moment, the surrounding cultivators consciously stepped aside, and the public square in front of Ash Pagoda Chamber of Commerce also emptied. At this time, Ningqing and Duan Gantai suddenly came out. I'm Spirit Devil Island's second island master Zongan, and this is my third brother, Spirit Devil Island's third island master Shuqiu Hongwen. You two shouldn't be ordinary people, so why did you attack my Spirit Devil Island's disciple, Chu Xingshan, at the auction? If you dare to bully my Spirit Devil Island, then this place will be the place to spill blood. The late-stage Eternal Cultivator spoke up. He wore brown robes and had a calm expression. One couldn't see any joy or anger on his face. Ningqing truly had no idea what kind of place Spirit Devil Island was. However, since this fellow dared to speak about fighting here, it meant that he had a certain status in the Devil Domain. Listening to this fellow's tone, Ningqing understood that Spirit Devil Island was used to being arrogant. The reason why this fellow didn't start immediately was that he and Duan Gantai had calm expressions and didn't care about two eternal experts. Therefore, this fellow wanted to inquire about his and Duan Gantai's origins. Chapter 788. Seeing Ningqing not speaking, Duan Gantai spoke up. Brother Ning, do you want to fight or leave? If you want to fight, then I'll choose that Shuqiu Hongwen. If you don't want to fight, then I'll just leave. Ningqing understood what Duan Gantai meant. If he didn't do anything, this fellow would leave immediately. Don't look at the two island masters of Spirit Devil Island coming. It wouldn't be enough to stop Duan Gantai. Is Spirit Devil Island famous? I've never heard of it. Don't talk nonsense about how powerful your Spirit Devil Island is. If you want to fight, then do it. I don't have time to waste with you. Ningqing spoke with impatience. Duan Gantai couldn't leave. If Duan Gantai left, what would happen to his Eternal Emperor Continuance pill? What about his star veins? If the other party wanted to be reasonable, Ningqing wouldn't have spoken in such a tone. But this second island master thought that his Spirit Devil Island was a powerful place, and acted so aggressively. No wonder he had a disciple like Chu Xingshan. Even spilling blood? For Ningqing, he hated threats the most. He didn't believe that these two island masters didn't know who Chu Xingshan was. Since they knew and still acted so forcefully, it meant that they weren't good people. They should be used to bullying others. Zhongyan's expression changed when he heard Ningqing's words. He could speak disdainfully about Ningqing in front of so many people. But for Ningqing to speak disdainfully about his Spirit Devil Island in front of so many people, it was simply too much. Before Zhongyan could do anything, Shuqiu Hongwen, who stood behind him, gave a cold snort, courting death. At the same time, he rushed towards Ningqing and raised his hand, sending out several palm shadows towards Ningqing. The people standing on the edge of the public square couldn't even see how Shuqiu Hongwen did it. They could only feel a fierce murderous intent pressing down on them. This kind of murderous intent made people unconsciously retreat. It felt as if they weren't careful, they would get sucked into this murderous vortex. Spirit Devil Island had an illustrious reputation. But now, with the third island master taking action, no one dared to speak at this time. Some cultivators who couldn't bear to see Spirit Devil Island oppressing others secretly sighed in their hearts. They all thought that if the third island master first dealt with the cultivator who sent Chu Xingshan flying with a slap, it would definitely be worth watching. A cultivator who could send a late-stage life and death realm Chu Xingshan flying with a slap naturally had to be in the eternal realm. Since Shuqiu Hongwen was currently dealing with Ningqing, he naturally lacked the ability to resist. From the onlooker's point of view, facing an eternal cultivator, even if Ningqing's cultivation had reached the heaven-seated realm, he would still die without a doubt. As the violent killing intent swept out, Ningqing did not move. He was completely wrapped up by this violent killing intent filled with a violent killing intent. After his violent killing intent wrapped around Ning Cheng, Shuqiu Hongwen's mouth showed a hint of sarcasm. Sure enough, a heaven-seated ant couldn't even put up any resistance in front of him. The black blade shadows, which had even taken on a physical form, instantly filled up Ning City from all directions. Perhaps in just a breath's time, Ning City would be torn into pieces by these endless black blade shadows, turning into a pool of blood on the public square. In Shuqiu Hongwen's eyes, Ning Cheng had already turned into a pool of blood. It would be strange if they could survive after being bound by his berserk-killing aura domain, and under his psychic demonic blade. Ning Cheng's heart surged with murderous intent. This third island master actually wanted to tear him to shreds. Moreover, he even wanted to kill him before he could figure out what was going on. In the face of someone who wanted to kill him, how could Ning Cheng show any mercy? The next moment, his domain blasted out in a frenzy. The domain fused with the celestial river flame, under the expansion of Ning Cheng's powerful celestial essence and spiritual consciousness, tore apart the killing aura domain shrouding him in the blink of an eye. Shuqiu Hongwen's domain, an early-stage eternal cultivator, had no room to resist it at all in front of Ning Cheng. Swish swish. A soft sound emerged and Shuqiu Hongwen's expression changed drastically. He was just about to kill Ning Cheng, so he naturally had a clear view of every corner. Ning Cheng's domain had directly crushed his domain, and he didn't even have room to resist. The black blade shadows rushing towards Ning Cheng also collapsed at this moment. They couldn't even touch Ning Cheng's body. Not good. This fellow was definitely a late-stage eternal powerhouse. Shuqiu Hongwen immediately wanted to retreat as he thought of this. Although it was easy for him to rush up, it wasn't easy for him to escape. Space seemed to have stagnated, and even breathing became difficult. Before he could scream, a huge fist slammed into his chest. He did not have the slightest ability to resist, and could only watch as the fist approached his chest. At this moment, he felt extremely regretful. He hated himself for being too careless. He should have brought out an attack-type weapon and a defensive-type weapon before attacking Ning Cheng. However, would bringing out a weapon before attacking Ning Cheng really work? At the same time that Ning Cheng's fist slammed into his chest, he felt an inexhaustible spear intent raging through his meridians. At the same time, he also heard Ning Cheng's words. Even if I let you hit me, you wouldn't be able to hurt even half a hair on me. Ning Cheng's words truly weren't bragging. With his middle-stage starry sky body, even if Shuqiu Hongwen's sneak attack caught him off guard, he would only suffer some minor injuries. If he had prepared himself, he wouldn't have suffered even half a wound. Ning Cheng was telling the truth when he said that he couldn't hurt even half a hair on him. Bang! Shuqiu Hongwen spat out several blood arrows, and Ning Cheng sent him flying like a meteor. In the distance, Zhongyan's expressions changed drastically. He quickly rushed forward and caught Shuqiu Hongwen in his arms. He had a vague bad feeling in his heart. Spirit Devil Island had gotten itself into big trouble this time. Hurry up, tell Big Brother. Shuqiu Hongwen kept spitting out blood in Zhongyan's arms, but he still kept reminding Zhongyan to leave quickly. Chu Xingshan, who was still standing in the middle of the public square, froze. He didn't expect Ning Cheng to be so powerful, even more so than Duan Gantai. Boom. Only at this moment did the collision of celestial essence spread out, and a powerful force spread out in all directions of the public square. Just the aftermath alone made the cultivators at the edge of the public square feel as if they had been hit by a heavy hammer. A single punch almost killed the Spirit Devil Island's third island master. At this moment, everyone's gaze towards Ning Cheng had changed, almost killing an early-stage eternal cultivator with a single punch. In the entire Devil Domain Grand Starry Sky, only Qiao Jierui could do such a thing. Who was this person? Why hadn't they heard of him before? Duan Gantai took a few steps forward, walked up to Chu Xingshan, and slapped him again. Chu Xingshan felt shocked by Ning Cheng's strength. He was also a late-stage life and death expert. But as soon as Duan Gantai made his move, he immediately tried to escape. At this moment, he found himself bound by a powerful force. However, he couldn't escape anywhere and could only watch as Duan Gantai's slap fell on his face. "Ant, you dare to call people to block me?" After Duan Gantai slapped Chu Xingshan until he lost a few teeth, he kicked Chu Xingshan's chest again. Zhong'an, who had just caught Shuqiu Hongwen, once again caught Chu Xingshan. Sect Master Ning really is strong. You even came to my devil domain from culmination. As the voice fell, a figure suddenly appeared in the middle of Ash Pagoda Chamber of Commerce's public square. Heavenly Emperor Jierwei is here. As soon as this figure landed, the previous noise in the public square disappeared in an instant. From this, one could tell how high this person's aura and status were. Ning Cheng and Xiao Jierwei had always been at loggerheads with each other. This was the Devil Domain's territory, so Xiao Jierwei naturally wouldn't come here to help Ning Cheng. Ning Cheng spoke up with a calm voice. Then Brother Xiao, should I hide? Xiao Jierwei glanced at Zhong'an and spoke with the same calm tone. Sect Master Ning is a guest, but Sect Master Ning attacked Spirit Devil Island's third island master as soon as he arrived. At least, I, Xiao Jierwei, can't do such a thing. Ning Cheng chuckled. Heavenly Emperor Jierwei truly has a noble character and unquestionable integrity. A dog bites your left leg, yet you still send your right leg. I, Ning Cheng, can't do such a thing. For me, if a dog bites me, I naturally have to hit the dog. Yes, Brother Ning's words are right. When the dog bit me, I didn't see the owner come out and say that we were guests. Now that I hit the dog, the owner immediately came out. So fast. Duan Gantai, on seeing Ning Cheng and Xiao Jierwei in conflict, quickly added oil to the fire. Xiao Jierwei's face sank, and his killing intent intensified. But before he could speak, another voice arrived. It's this little sister's luck to see Brother Ning here. So it's Junior Apprentice Sister Nine Phoenix. It's indeed a happy event to see Junior Apprentice Sister Nine Phoenix in the territory of such a big shot. Ning Cheng laughed and ridiculed Xiao Jierwei. That is, Xiao Jierwei, don't think of yourself as a big shot. I don't even fear Chuan Xinlo, so why would I fear you, Xiao Jierwei? Xiao Jierwei's face turned gloomy and ugly. Although he didn't know that Ning Cheng's cultivation had grown much stronger than before, he knew that Ning Cheng wasn't a person who would speak well. Moreover, Ning Cheng would never fear him just because he was in the devil domain. This fellow could directly take away Grand Culmination Starry Sky's territory. Yet Chuan Xinlo didn't dare to speak. This explained everything. Although he couldn't move against Ning Cheng now, Xiao Jierwei had already decided to kill Duan Gantai. A mere life and death cultivator dared to ridicule him in front of him. Just then, two more figures landed on the public square. Both were late-stage eternal cultivators with solid celestial essence. With Ning Cheng's cultivation, he could tell that these two people were much more powerful than Chen Xingwen from the Spiritual Heaven sect. Haha, Ash Pagoda Chamber of Commerce's Yitsong greets Sect Master Ning. Sect Master Ning has come from afar, and my Ash Pagoda Chamber of Commerce has neglected you. I hope that Sect Master Ning can forgive us. The man on the left spoke with an enthusiastic tone as he cupped his fists towards Ning Cheng. The man was tall and looked extremely majestic. His entire body was covered in muscles. Ning Cheng casually exchanged a few polite words with him. His impression of this Yitsong was just average. He really didn't think much of a fellow who could come up with such a strange rule in an auction. Yitsong didn't seem to care about Ning Cheng's attitude. Instead, he turned to Duan Gantai and cupped his fists. This should be Brother Duan from Butterfly Mountain, right? Our Ash Pagoda Chamber of Commerce has truly neglected you this time. Yitsong is here to apologize to Brother Duan. Ning Cheng had heard that Duan Gantai came from Butterfly Mountain, but he didn't know what kind of place Butterfly Mountain was. Judging from Yitsong's attitude, the Butterfly Mountain seemed to have a powerful background. Otherwise, how could Yitsong, a late-stage eternal cultivator, address Duan Gantai, a cultivator in the life and death realm, as Brother Duan? Chapter 789. Hearing that Duan Gantai came from Butterfly Mountain, Xiao Jierwei's eyes immediately flashed with surprise. He even forcibly concealed his anger. The man next to Yitsong was slender and wore a Confucian scarf on his head. He looked extremely handsome. He was Spirit Devil Island's first island master, Chu Angxiong. When Chu Angxiong came out, he saw Shuqiu Hongwen severely injured and his son, Chu Xinshan, beaten into a pig's head. It immediately made him angry. But after figuring out some of the situation, he forcibly suppressed the anger in his heart. Instead, he smiled and cupped his fists towards Duan Gantai. Spirit Devil Islands Chu Ongxiong greets friend. I, Spirit Devil Islands Chu Xinshan, apologize to friend for the inconvenience I caused you at the auction. Chu Ongxiong and Song came together because Song wanted to explain the auction venue to him. Although he was polite on the surface, he was still very unhappy about the Ash Pagoda auction. How could a simple explanation make up for his son's humiliation at the auction venue? Now that he came out and saw Qiao Jierwei and Yi Jiufeng's attitude towards Ningcheng, as well as Song saying that Duan Gantai came from Butterfly Mountain, how could he not understand? No wonder Ash Pagoda Chamber of Commerce didn't even buy into his account. These two people seem to have some big backgrounds. In fact, Chu Ongxiong was wrong. Song didn't know about Ningcheng and Duan Gantai's identities before. It was only after the incident at the auction that Song found out about them. Butterfly Mountain's people can't control this place and won't come forward for me. You don't have to worry about it. Duan Gantai finished and turned to Ningcheng. Brother Ning, this little brother will wait for you at the desert sand rest stop. After saying this, Duan Gantai immediately left, disappearing in a moment. Sect Master Ning, it was my Spirit Devil Island's fault. As the first island master of Spirit Devil Island, I can't absolve myself from the blame. Chu Ongxiong felt extremely aggrieved. When did Spirit Devil Island have to apologize everywhere? But he still had to apologize. Even if he apologized, a puny life and death cultivator wouldn't care about him. Even Spirit Heaven Grand Starry Skies Yi Jiufeng had to address Ningcheng as Brother Ning. No matter how strong his Spirit Devil Island was, it couldn't compare to these two people. How could Ningcheng not see Chu Ongxiong's murderous intent? He spoke up without any care. There's no need for an apology. If the first island master feels that this matter is over, then let's just forget about it. If first island master feels that this matter isn't over yet, I live in mysterious yellow celestial rivers Jiangzhou Star. After saying that, Ningcheng greeted Yi Jiufeng and hurriedly went to find Duan Gantai. He had yet to achieve his main purpose of coming here. Duan Gantai had already taken away the starry sky radish grass, so how could he let it go? He didn't want to have anything to do with Godfiend Island. If the people from Spirit Devil Island dared to go to Jiangzhou Star, then he wouldn't mind taking a trip to Spirit Devil Island. Qiao Jierwei looked at Ningcheng's departing back with an ugly expression. Even if he wanted to make a move against Ningcheng, he could not do it here. However, since Ningcheng dared to leave stately River Star alone and come to the Devil Domain, it meant that he was tired of living, unless he stayed with Yi Jiufeng. The desert sand rest stop was of a much higher grade compared to the small rest stop Ningcheng lived in. When Ningcheng arrived, Duan Gantai had already been waiting for him. I knew that Brother Ning would come in time. If I hadn't waited for Brother Ning, I would have already left the Devil Domain. Duan Gantai spoke with a smile. Ningcheng casually activated the room's restrictions, sat down and said, Brother Duan, if you agree, I will immediately start refining the pill. If you don't agree, then I will leave immediately. Let's not talk nonsense. Duan Gantai showed a smile and spoke up casually. I naturally agree to let Brother Ning refine the pill, but how confident is Brother Ning? How many medicinal pills can you refine? How do you plan to distribute them? Ningcheng didn't answer Duan Gantai's question and spoke up. There are 7 main starry sky spirit grasses for refining the Eternal Emperor Continuance pill, and no less than 100 auxiliary starry sky spirit grasses. Before talking about the distribution of medicinal pills, I would like to ask Brother Duan, how many auxiliary starry sky spirit grasses do you have? If not, then Brother Duan should just wait for the medicinal pills. He could already tell from Duan Gantai's tone that Duan Gantai had no intention of letting him refine the pill. No matter how many starry sky spirit grasses are needed for the Eternal Emperor Continuance pill, I'm sure that I can find these starry sky spirit grasses. As for my starry sky radish grass, it's not that easy to find. If Brother Ning fails in refining, you wouldn't lose much, but I would lose a lot. Duan Gantai knew that if Ningcheng had the starry sky radish grass, he wouldn't have come to him for cooperation. Moreover, from the beginning to the end, he had no intention of working with Ningcheng. Looking for Ning Cheng to refine pills for him would only result in his brain going haywire. If Ning Cheng insisted on helping him refine pills, it would only lead to humiliation. He waited for Ning Cheng to come because of the Temple of Time, not for medicinal pills. Ning Cheng hesitated for a while before speaking. Brother Duan, it's not the first time we've worked together. I believe in Brother Duan, but since Brother Duan doesn't believe me, then let's make another deal. Duan Gantai waved his hand. Brother Ning, let's not talk about the deal. I know that you have a high level of alchemy, and I also know that you offered me the Accordance Heavenly Pill to cooperate with me. But to Brother Ning's disappointment, I still have to think about the matter of alchemy. I came to Brother Ning to discuss how to get to the Temple of Time. Ning Cheng's expressions turned ugly, and he remained silent for a minute or two before speaking up. If Brother Duan is afraid that I would waste the starry sky radish grass, I can put some star veins on Brother Duan. Hearing Ning Cheng say that he would put some star veins on him, Duan Gantai's heart moved, but he immediately spoke up. Forget about the star veins. With my friendship with Brother Ning, I just need to put some star veins on you. Star veins are resources needed for cultivation, so I can't let Brother Ning put them on me. Otherwise. Duan Gantai hesitated for a while before speaking. Brother Ning can put the perpetual moon time key in your hand on me, and I will agree to let Brother Ning refine pills. Ning Cheng sneered in his heart. When he put up the second perpetual moon time key for auction, he had already prepared to propose this matter to Duan Gantai. The only accident was that someone else bought the second perpetual moon time key, but it made Ning Cheng's plan easier to implement. Otherwise, with Duan Gantai's cunning personality, if he agreed to put the 3 perpetual moon time keys on Duan Gantai would have definitely grown suspicious. Now it seemed that his arrangements had not been in vain. This fellow finally proposed it. In fact, when Duan Gantai made this request, he didn't expect Ning Cheng to agree. He believed that with Ning Cheng's shrewdness, how could he agree to such a thing? It's just that he and Ning Cheng had cooperated once before, which was why he used such an excuse to evade it. But what he didn't expect was that after he made this request, Ning Cheng turned silent. Was there really a chance? Ning Cheng wouldn't be such an idiot, right? It was hard to say. After all, not everyone could refuse an Eternal Emperor continuance pill. Suppressing the surprise in his heart, Duan Gantai spoke up casually. Whether the perpetual moon time key is on me or not, it doesn't make much sense. After all, someone bought the second perpetual moon time key, and I don't even know who bought it. I'm afraid that I will have to trouble Ash Pagoda Chamber of Commerce's Association Master Yi Song for this matter. Seemingly moved by Duan Gantai's words, Ning Cheng slapped the table and said, Brother Duan, I've always believed in you. It's just that the perpetual moon time key is of great importance. I can put it on Brother Duan, but Brother Duan must agree to 2 conditions. Duan Gantai pretended to frown and asked, What conditions? First, Brother Duan must give me the transfer jade talisman to enter the Temple of Time. Brother Duan doesn't need to explain anything. I know that even if I put the perpetual moon time key on Brother Duan would only have 2. But the Temple of Time is my biggest expectation. Putting both the perpetual moon time key and the transfer jade talisman on Brother Duan, I don't dare to take the risk. When Ning Cheng said the first condition, Duan Gantai's heart almost jumped out of his chest in excitement. Ning Cheng, today I will let you drink my foot washing water for the second time. You shouldn't know that the second key is now on me, right? If you knew, I'm afraid you wouldn't have done it. As for the jade talisman to enter the time wilderness, who told you that I only have one? Did I tell you that? Did you believe my words? How could he, Duan Gantai, let the second perpetual moon time key fall into the hands of someone he didn't know? When Ning Cheng entered the consignment channel, he immediately found booth 7. He only spoke 2 sentences. First, I will use 15 star veins in exchange for your perpetual moon time key. Second, I come from Butterfly Mountain. In just 2 sentences, he easily obtained the second perpetual moon time key. On the surface, Duan Gantai nodded after listening to Ning Cheng's words. Brother Ning's request is very legitimate. Even I would have made such a request. Ning Cheng ignored Duan Gantai and continued. Second, Brother Duan must put 50 star veins on me. Absolutely impossible. Duan Gantai waved his hand and stood up. Even if he had 3 perpetual moon time keys, he would never put 50 star veins on Ningcheng. How many star veins did he have in total? If he gave Ningcheng 50 more, how could he cultivate after advancing to the eternal realm? He hadn't even seen what was inside the Temple of Time. Therefore, Duan Gantai would never take such a risk. Seeing that Ningcheng seemed to want to leave, Duan Gantai took the initiative to speak up. Brother Ning, I invited Brother Ning here, apart from the Temple of Time, because I couldn't find a pill emperor who could refine Starry Sky Grade 9 medicinal pills. However, Brother Ning's conditions are a bit too harsh. What if Brother Ning takes away my star veins and doesn't return them to me? Of course, I don't doubt Brother Ning's character, but I'm afraid that something might happen to you. Ningcheng spoke up with a calm voice. Actually, I also want to add one more condition. Even if Brother Duan agrees, I would like to place some restrictions in this room and not leave halfway. Duan Gantai's expressions changed a few times before he gritted his teeth and said, I'll bet 10 Starry Sky Essence Chi veins and give the transfer Jade Talisman to Brother Ning. Brother Ning, please help me refine this furnace of medicinal pills. Ningcheng secretly laughed in his heart. This fellow had just said that he would consider whether or not to refine pills by himself. Now he directly stated the conditions for refining pills. 10 is too few. I won't agree. 40 star veins. No, 15 star veins at most. 35. 20, that's my bottom line. 30. If you agree, I'll start. If you don't agree, I'll leave. There's no room for bargaining. 25. If you don't agree, then forget it. Ningcheng didn't bid again. He stood up and walked towards the door. He didn't believe that Duan Gantai would give up on the Temple of Time for 5 star veins. Just when Ningcheng was about to step out of the room, he heard Duan Gantai's grinding voice. 30 is 30. Ningcheng felt completely relieved. He truly feared that Duan Gantai wouldn't stop him. If Duan Gantai didn't stop him and he returned, Duan Gantai would definitely suspect him. Chapter 790. Deal. Ningcheng turned his head and looked at Duan Gantai with a smile. Duan Gantai's heart jumped slightly as he felt something wrong. But when he thought about the 3 Temple of Time keys that were about to fall into his hands, how could there be anything wrong? Neither of them mentioned anything about it. Instead, they arranged various restrictions in their respective rooms to prevent one of them from escaping. After the 2 finished arranging the restrictions, Ningcheng took out the 3rd key to the Temple of Time. Duan Gantai suppressed the pounding of his heart, and also took out a storage ring. The storage ring contained 30 star veins and a transfer Jade Talisman. Both he and Ningcheng knew that it was impossible to deceive the other party with a fake one. The 2 quickly exchanged things, and Duan Gantai breathed a sigh of relief. Even Duan Gantai and Ningcheng, the 2 parties involved, didn't notice that the transaction was about the Starry Sky Radish Grass. But after the transaction, the 2 didn't argue about the number of Eternal Emperor Continuance pills. It was as if the 2 didn't trade for the Eternal Emperor Continuance pills, but for the Perpetual Moon Time keys. It was just too strange. It wasn't until Duan Gantai took out the Starry Sky Radish Grass that he felt a little strange. Not only did the 2 not negotiate about the number of Eternal Emperor Continuance pills, but also why didn't Ningcheng ask him to take out the Starry Sky Radish Grass during the exchange? This feeling only flashed by. In Duan Gantai's view, Ningcheng felt confident that he couldn't escape the restrictions here for a while. Or rather, although the Starry Sky Radish Grass was rare, the price wasn't too outrageous, only a few million permanent essence pills. I need 2 Eternal Emperor Continuance pills, Duan Gantai said while holding the Starry Sky Radish Grass. Ningcheng didn't hesitate and agreed directly. Okay, as long as I can form the pills, I will give you 2. Duan Gantai nodded and handed the Starry Sky Radish Grass to Ningcheng. He wasn't afraid that Ningcheng couldn't form the pills. In fact, he even looked forward to Ningcheng failing. As long as Ningcheng failed, he would only lose a Starry Sky Radish Grass. Since he already had the Temple of Time, why would he care about a Starry Sky Radish Grass? Duan Gantai remained silent, and Ningcheng also stopped talking. Watching Ningcheng skillfully take out a pill furnace, take out a bunch of spiritual grasses, and bring out the celestial river flame, Duan Gantai grew more and more shocked. Ningcheng's alchemy level was just as he said, alchemy. Moreover, Ningcheng also had such a terrifying flame. No wonder Ningcheng had asked him for the void-shimmering light crystal. This flame had already evolved to such a level. Ningcheng also knew that he had to expose himself. Since he and Duan Gantai had made a deal, he had to reveal some of his trump cards. Duan Gantai would never allow him to hide and practice alchemy. Ningcheng didn't refine many Starry Sky Grade 9 medicinal pills, because he didn't have many Starry Sky Grade 9 spiritual grasses. Nevertheless, Ningcheng felt confident about refining the Eternal Emperor Continuance pill this time. He had refined many Starry Sky Grade 8 medicinal pills, and had even refined a few batches of Starry Sky Grade 9 medicinal pills. He believed that with the improvement of his Celestial River Flames grade, refining the Eternal Emperor Continuance pill would have a high chance of success. Ningcheng threw one spiritual grass after another into the traceless pill furnace. Even if it was the Starry Sky Radish grass, Ningcheng did not hesitate to throw it into the pill furnace. Duan Gantai could only see Ningcheng's constant movements while throwing out some impurities. However, his spiritual consciousness couldn't sweep into Ningcheng's pill furnace. It wasn't just because Ningcheng had arranged a layer of spiritual consciousness isolation restriction outside the pill furnace. Even Duan Gantai knew that he couldn't easily sweep his spiritual consciousness into an alchemist's pill furnace to avoid affecting the formation of the medicinal pills. Time passed with Ningcheng refining pills and Duan Gantai waiting. After a full 2 hours, Ningcheng's hand gestures suddenly sped up. At this time even Duan Gantai, who stood on the sidelines, felt nervous. He understood that Ningcheng was collecting the pills. Despite his low level of alchemy, he could vaguely feel that Ningcheng's hand gestures weren't pill arts. As for why he felt this way, he couldn't explain it. After another half an incense stick worth of time, a burst of fragrance spread out. Duan Gantai then saw Ningcheng raise his hand and wave. Even with his powerful vision, Ningcheng's hand gestures blocked his vision. He couldn't even see how many medicinal pills Ningcheng had refined. Seeing Ningcheng put away the pill furnace and remove the restrictions, Duan Gantai laughed a few times. Brother Ning, you really live up to your reputation. You managed to refine Eternal Emperor Continuance pills with ease. Impressive. Ningcheng threw a jade bottle to Duan Gantai and said, Brother Duan, this jade bottle contains 2 Eternal Emperor Continuance pills. Duan Gantai grabbed the jade bottle and swept it with his spiritual consciousness. He immediately understood that it contained 2 top-quality Eternal Emperor Continuance pills. He quickly put away the jade bottle and smiled. Many thanks, Brother Ning. By the way, Duan Gantai had just spoken 2 words when his expression suddenly changed. Ningcheng asked in doubt, What's the matter, Brother Duan? Not good, someone attacked my cave. My cave is my lifeblood. Brother Ning, wait for me to come back. After Duan Gantai finished speaking, his figure faded and disappeared from Ningcheng's sight in a flash. He didn't even leave a trace behind. The restrictions in the room seemed to be just decorations for Duan Gantai and couldn't stop him at all. Ningcheng looked at the place where Duan Gantai disappeared and sneered. Sure enough, he hadn't guessed wrong. Duan Gantai's escape methods were much stronger than his. At least, he couldn't stop Duan Gantai. From the looks of it, after he went back, in addition to speeding up his advancement to the Eternal Realm, he also had to upgrade his twin wings of the heavenly clouds. As for giving 2 Eternal Emperor Continuance pills to Duan Gantai, Ningcheng didn't care about it at all. He had refined 12 Eternal Emperor Continuance pills in 1 cauldron, 6 high grade and 6 special grade. So what if he took away 2 top-quality Emperor Continuance pills? Ningcheng put away his things and removed all the restrictions in the room. Just as he was about to leave, the restriction outside the door opened. Ningcheng's spiritual consciousness swept out and found that the person who came in was Shui Wuchang. Shui Wuchang definitely didn't come for him. From the looks of it, Shui Wuchang and Duan Gantai weren't as simple as they seemed. How come it's you? Shui Wuchang looked at Ningcheng in surprise. She felt that the relationship between Ningcheng and Duan Gantai wasn't as harmonious as it seemed on the surface. She didn't expect Ningcheng to also live here. Are you here for Duangantai? Ningcheng smiled and looked at Shui Wuchang standing at the door. Shui Wuchang had a strange look on her face. After hearing Ningcheng's words, she quickly spoke up. No, I'm looking for you. Can I come in and sit down? Ningcheng nodded. Come on in. This isn't my place. Shui Wuchang had obviously dressed up before coming here. She had changed out of her original water-red dress and wore a light purple tight-fitting dress. Her plump chest and slender waist looked even more distinct under the belt. Her long hair fell over her shoulders, giving off a gentle aura. Coupled with the faint fragrance of a woman, it gave people a good impression of her. Ningcheng had a good understanding of Shui Wuchang and naturally knew what kind of person she was. Fortunately, he didn't see the same kind of pretentious look on Shui Wuchang, which made Ningcheng feel a bit more comfortable. Can you tell me what's your relationship with Duangantai? After Shui Wuchang sat down, the first thing she asked was the relationship between Ningcheng and Duangantai. Can you tell me about Duangantai's origin, and where is this butterfly mountain? Ningcheng didn't answer Shui Wuchang's question, but asked Shui Wuchang a question instead. Shui Wuchang nodded. I already know about your relationship with Duangantai, but you don't even know about Butterfly Mountain. It looks like Duangantai came with you to my Shui clan to take advantage of you. Butterfly Mountain is a place, and I heard that people rarely come out from there. But once they do, it would be an earth-shattering event. Shui Wuchang seemed to have come here to ask this question. After answering Ningcheng's question, she stood up again. But when she reached the door, she suddenly looked back and said, Senior Apprentice Brother Ning, do you think Duangantai is a good Dao companion? Shui Wuchang didn't take the initiative to mention the perpetual moontime key, which made Ningcheng's impression of her improve a bit. If this woman had mentioned the perpetual moontime key the moment she arrived, Ningcheng wouldn't have hesitated to tell her to fuck off. But this woman wanted to harm him. Yet she still dared to mention the perpetual moontime key? Hearing Shui Wuchang's nonsensical question, Ningcheng couldn't help but feel speechless. He guessed that something must have happened to the Shui clan. Otherwise, Shui Wuchang wouldn't have come here. Moreover, she even said such words. It was as if she wanted to find a way out for herself. Ningcheng hesitated a little before answering honestly. First, Duangantai isn't a good Dao companion. Second, you can't find Duangantai in a short time. Whether Duangantai was a good Dao companion or not, Ningcheng didn't know. But he knew that Duangantai didn't put Shui Wuchang in his eyes. If Duangantai had put Shui Wuchang in his eyes, he wouldn't have used her. As for not finding Duangantai in a short time, it was a given. Duangantai wanted to advance to the Eternal Realm, and had to go to the Temple of Time. It would be strange if he had the time to show up. Many thanks, Senior Apprentice Brother Ning. But Senior Apprentice Brother Ning, please don't go to the mysterious Yellow Starland. A teleportation maelstrom has appeared in the mysterious Yellow Starland's Sacred Light Mountain range, and a powerful outsider has established a station there. As long as the cultivators of the mysterious Yellow Starland don't leave in time, they will be killed at will and forced to build a new city there. After Shui Wuchang finished speaking, she quickly walked out. Ningcheng looked at Shui Wuchang's back and thought about Shui Wuchang's words. Ningcheng naturally knew about the Sacred Light Mountain range and the mysterious Yellow Temple. He had used the hope-powered Jade Seal to destroy the mysterious Yellow Temple. At that time, a powerful existence wanted to seize his mysterious yellow bead, and even wanted to possess him. But after he blasted it away, that existence said that it would come back. Did that teleportation maelstrom mean that this existence had come back? Logically speaking, it shouldn't be this fast. Ningcheng had taught a lesson to that essence spirit without a corporeal body. In any case, Ningcheng knew that he couldn't delay. He had to advance to the Eternal Realm as quickly as possible. Only by advancing to the Eternal Realm would he have some confidence. As for the mysterious Yellow Starland, he had to go there. Thinking of this, Ningcheng rushed out of the room and called out to Shui Wuchang, who was about to leave. At the same time, he took out a jade card and handed it to Shui Wuchang. Fairy Wuchang, thank you for reminding me. This is my spiritual sense jade card. Shui Wuchang took the jade card in surprise, but a hint of surprise flashed in her eyes. She couldn't understand what Ningqing meant. Ningqing spoke up cautiously. Fairy Wuchang, I want to ask for everything related to wood origin. The most important thing is the wood origin bead. Ash Pagoda Chamber of Commerce is the largest chamber of commerce in the 4 grand starry skies. Since you work in this chamber of commerce, I just want to ask Fairy Wuchang to help me keep an eye out for the wood origin bead, or something similar. Once Fairy Wuchang or something similar appears, please crush the jade card to notify me immediately. I will never treat you badly. Shui Wuchang's expression calmed down again, and she nodded. I will help senior apprentice Brother Ning keep an eye out for it. Please rest assured. Chapter 791. Ningqing had just walked out of returning capital Starry Sky City when he saw 2 acquaintances, Sun Jihe and Mu Hao. Sun Jihe was the Starry Sky Emperor of the Water Immortal Starry Sky, and Ningqing had even helped her once in the ancient Shadow Temple. Sun Jihe and Mu Hao had escaped from the ancient Shadow Temple. Ningqing had heard about it from Yi Jiufeng, but he didn't expect her to also be in returning capital Starry Sky City. Sun Jihe and Mu Hao probably came to Gui City to participate in the auction. Besides Sun Jihe and Mu Hao, there were 2 men, who were also Eternal Realm powerhouses. As for Sun Jihe and Mu Hao, Ningqing guessed that these 2 must also be Starry Sky Emperors of a Starry Sky. Sect Master Ning, I didn't expect to meet you here. Sun Jihe immediately called out in joy when she saw Ningqing. She had previously gone to the rest stop where Ningqing was resting, but could not find Ningqing. Ningqing had helped her in the ancient Shadow Temple, and she had always remembered this kindness. With a dead face, Mu Hao, who did not like to talk, also cupped his fists towards Ningqing when he saw him. Ningqing returned the courtesy. I did not expect to see senior apprentice Sister Sun and elder brother Mu here. Knowing that the person they met was Ningqing, the man with an aquiline nose and thick eyebrows standing next to Sun Jihe quickly stepped forward and cupped his fists towards Ningqing. 9 Jewels Starry Skies Shangguan Fei greets Sect Master Ning. The last time Sect Master Ning visited 9 Jewels Starry Sky, Shangguan Fei wasn't around. Sorry for the neglect. Shangguan Fei spoke about the last time Ningqing went to Everlasting Sacred Shrine. Ningqing killed Seeking Intelligence and destroyed the Everlasting Sacred Tree in Everlasting Sacred Shrine. Shangguan Fei naturally knew about it. Everlasting Sacred Shrine was one of the top sects in 9 Jewels Starry Sky. If an ordinary person dared to provoke his sect within his own Starry Sky, the Starry Sky Emperor would have already flown into a rage. However, Shangguan Fei knew that he was not qualified to show his anger in front of Ningqing. Of the 4 Starry Sky Emperors, 3 of them politely greeted Ningqing. However, the 4th man acted as if he did not see Ningqing, with an incomparably arrogant demeanor. This man had the cultivation of the late-stage Eternal Realm, and his face exuded a murderous aura. Moreover, the celestial essence surrounding his body felt extremely vigorous, and even the celestial wheels behind him had formed into a single layer. Ningqing could clearly see that this person was a top-notch powerhouse. For such a person, Ningqing naturally would not take the initiative to greet him. I've always wanted to go to the mysterious yellow celestial river to thank Sect Master Ning. It just so happened that we met in returning capital. If Sect Master Ning has some free time, please come to my place to rest for a while. Sun Jihe invited him warmly. Ningqing really wanted to sit down with Sun Jihe. He had heard everything about the ancient Shadow Temple from Yi Jiufeng. Now he planned to ask Sun Jihe and Mu Hao about it. He was eager to advance to the Eternal Realm, so he didn't care about these few hours. At this time, the baleful-looking man who ignored Ningqing spoke to Shangguan Fei. Brother Shangguan, we have to hurry up. Shangguan Fei nodded, cupped his fist towards Ningqing and the others and spoke. Sect Master Ning, Fairy Jihe, Brother Mu, I have something to take care of, so I will have to take my leave first. Mu Hao just snorted, but Sun Jihe said with a smile, Brother Shangguan, if you have something to do, you can go first. After Shangguan Fei and the baleful-looking man left, Sun Jihe said to Ningqing, the one with Shangguan Fei is Devil Domain Starry Sky Emperor Teng Xiao. He's a very arrogant person, but Sect Master Ning doesn't have to worry about him. Ningqing showed a slight smile. He didn't care about such a person and just casually said, "This Ting Xiao must have some kind of deal with Shangguan Fei, but he looks quite mysterious." Ning Qing also didn't say a word. Shangguan Fei had middle-stage eternal cultivation. If he had some kind of deal with Ting Xiao, then even his bones would have been eaten by others. Sun Jihe said, "The two must have some kind of deal," but Shangguan Fei was in a hurry to go back because his niece, Shangguan Man, was killed by a little cultivator named Yan Ji. His younger brother, Shangguan Xiang, is the Celestial River King of Night Essence Celestial River. Even after mobilizing all the cultivators of Night Essence Celestial River, they still couldn't catch that little cultivator with low cultivation. Moreover, something happened. Shangguan Fei wanted to go back to help. "Did you just say that the cultivator was called Yanji?" Ning Qing interrupted Sun Jihe's words in surprise. Sun Jihe looked at Ning Qing in doubt and replied, "Yes, Shangguan Fei's younger brother is called Shangguan Xiang. He went back before the auction started. He was the one who mentioned the name Yanji." "Senior apprentice Sister Sun, Brother Mu, I have an urgent matter to take care of. Let's sit down again when I'm free." After Ning Qing finished, he didn't wait for Sun Jihe to answer, and immediately brought out the starry sky wheel and rushed out. Sun Jihe looked at Ning Cheng's disappearing back and asked in doubt, "Who is that Yanji to sect Master Ning?" She suddenly remembered that the Devil Domain had a secret teleportation array that led directly to Culmination Sky. Wouldn't it be faster if Ning Cheng took the teleportation array? But then she thought of the grudge between Ning Cheng and Devil Domain's Heavenly Emperor Qiao Jierwei, and immediately suppressed the idea. Shangguan Xiang could use the teleportation array through his connections, but Ning Qing might not be able to. Ning Qing truly felt anxious. There were countless people with the same name within the starry sky. But what if Yanji was the same Yanji from Graceful Star Mainland? If it really was her, once he arrived too late and Shangguan Xiang killed Yanji, it wouldn't help him even if he killed Shangguan Xiang. Ning Cheng's starry sky will had just rushed out of Silent Bubble Starland, and the starry sky will hadn't even reached its full speed when someone stopped him. Someone had arranged an entrapment formation in the direction of his return. Although this entrapment formation couldn't restrain him, it could still prevent him from leaving quickly. "Qiao Jierwei, get out of my way before I lose my temper. Otherwise, don't blame me for falling out with you." Ning Qing looked at Qiao Jierwei, who stopped him in front of him, and no longer had any thoughts of feigning civility. Instead, his eyes filled with anger. Qiao Jierwei didn't care about Ning Cheng's anger, and looked at Ning Cheng with disdain. "Ning Cheng, others might fear you, but I, Qiao Jierwei, am not. Hand over the Earth Origin Bead and the Starry Sky Wheel, as well as the gourd you got from the Ancient Shadow Temple last time, and I'll let you go. Otherwise, this place would have been your burial place today." As the premier heavenly emperor of the Devil Domain, why would he fear Ning Cheng, who hadn't reached Tao-confirming realm? Ning Cheng didn't bother to speak even half a word of nonsense and immediately shot out with a semi-top grade long spear. Unfortunately, he hadn't refined his celestial rainbow purgatory spear yet. Otherwise, his strength would have risen to another level. While Ning Cheng and Chuan Xinlo fought, Qiao Jierwei had been watching from the side. Therefore, he had a clear understanding of Ning Cheng's means. So what if he touched the laws of time? Almost at the same time as Ning Cheng, Qiao Jierwei also started. Qiao Jierwei's magic treasure was the 5-colored myriad sifting banner. The moment the 5-colored myriad sifting banner came out, it transformed into 5 large banners of 5 different colors. The 5 colors covered the starry sky in the shortest time possible. In front of Ning Cheng's eyes, the starry sky disappeared, and Qiao Jierwei also disappeared. Even the 5-colored myriad connecting banner disappeared at this moment. Only the 5 colors remained. These 5 colors seemed incompatible with the world around them, as if they were completely independent. Ning Cheng found himself surrounded by these 5 colors. This 5-colored space didn't belong to him, but to his opponent, Qiao Jierwei. In someone else's space, Ning Cheng couldn't do anything. Perhaps he could only wait for the 5-colored space to sweep him away completely. No matter what he did, Ning Cheng was never the kind of person who just waited, not to mention this kind of life and death battle. The spiritual consciousness in his starry sky sea of consciousness crazily condensed, forming a spiritual consciousness blade and a spiritual consciousness thorn. At the same time, the spiritual consciousness blade also connected with the long spear in the five-colored space. Suddenly, something appeared within the five-colored space. It was a multicolored light, the sunset glow. The five-colored space wrapped around Ningcheng suddenly trembled and showed signs of loosening. At this time, the colors of the starry sky outside the five-colored space also started to come alive. It seemed that the time before and after couldn't match up, creating a dislocation between space and time. Seeing Ningcheng showing signs of breaking free from his space-related spirit technique, Qiao Jirui's expressions changed slightly. He knew that Ningcheng's understanding of the laws of time had just started, while his understanding of the laws of space could form a five-colored space spirit technique. In terms of understanding the laws, his understanding of the laws of space definitely surpassed Ningcheng's understanding of the laws of time. In this five-colored space of his, he was the master. However, Ningcheng's laws of time had shaken his five-colored space and was on the verge of tearing it apart. Boom! Qiao Jirui's sea of consciousness trembled, and then his five-colored space began to crack open. Even the five-colored myriad connecting banner gradually became clear. Ningcheng, who had just broken free from the shackles, waved his hand again, and a huge seal suddenly blasted out. Catcha, the five-colored space created by the five-colored myriad connecting banner, completely collapsed under Ningcheng's hope-powered seal. Before Qiao Jirui could cry out, a setting sun appeared in front of him, and he felt everything come to a standstill. A long spear passed through the setting sun like a poisonous snake, and quickly approached his glabella. Qiao Jirui felt a burst of beauty, but his heart skipped a beat. The next moment, his entire soul turned cold. This was not a beautiful sunset, but Ningcheng's dusk spirit technique, the laws of time. At this moment, Qiao Jirui no longer cared about anything else and crazily stimulated his celestial essence. Ningcheng's long spear had not yet pierced Qiao Jirui's glabella, but the latter's glabella automatically opened up and a black light shot out. Ningcheng's long spear slowed down for no reason. But at this moment, Qiao Jirui gathered the five-colored myriad connecting banner together and transformed it into a spatial shield. Boom! The long spear slammed into the five-colored space shield, causing a loud explosion. Celestial essence exploded, but it did not cause any damage. Ningcheng sighed in his heart. He knew that his sunset's twilight couldn't do anything to Qiao Jirui. It wasn't that his laws of time didn't work, but that Qiao Jirui's strength was too high. But before he advanced to the eternal realm, his laws of time still lacked the Tao charm of heaven and earth. Qiao Jirui felt shocked. He knew that when Ningcheng faced off against Leveled Heart Heavenly Emperor, Ningcheng was far inferior to Leveled Heart Heavenly Emperor. Although Leveled Heart Heavenly Emperor did not take any action, it was not entirely because he feared Ningcheng, but because he feared the few of them. He did not expect that in such a short time, Ningcheng would not be any worse than him. After a while, would he still be a match for Ningcheng? A chill rose in Qiao Jirui's heart. He had to kill Ningcheng today. Otherwise, the gap between him and Ningcheng would only grow bigger and bigger, unless he succeeded in reaching Tao-confirming realm. Chapter 792. Qiao Jirui wanted to kill Ningcheng, but Ningcheng's killing intent towards Qiao Jirui also grew thicker and thicker. Just when he was anxious to find Yanji, Qiao Jirui dared to stop him. Ningcheng once again brought out his long spear, and it still fell into the dusk. Qiao Jirui breathed a sigh of relief, even with a hint of sarcasm. The same spirit technique didn't work on him the first time, yet he still wanted to use it a second time. Sure enough, he only had a few moves left. Qiao Jirui breathed a sigh of relief in his heart, and raised his hand to summon a black mist shadow. The five-colored myriad connecting banner turned into 5 different colors, and as the 5 colors rapidly expanded, the 5-colored space condensed once again. But this time the 5-colored space didn't bind Ningcheng. Instead, it only separated the space for the two to fight. It looked as if it wanted to prevent Ningcheng from escaping. The black mist Qiao Jirui shot out suddenly split apart within the 5-colored space. 1 split into 2, 2 split into 4, for split into 8. As if it had a tangible form, it formed one black dot after another in the blink of an eye. Seeing the black spots formed from the black mist growing more and more, completely surrounding him from all directions, Ningqing could not help but feel a sense of crisis. These black dots seemed to have a life of their own, making buzzing sounds as they rushed towards Ningqing. As they flew through the air, sizzling sounds of corrosion could be heard. At this time, Ningqing not only felt a sense of crisis, but even his scalp felt numb. There were so many black dots, like an endless swarm of bugs, that ignored his domain and rushed over. Once he was completely wrapped up, wouldn't even his bones be corroded? Ningqing was just about to bring out the time wheel when he felt a strong fighting intent coming from the underworld crow ghost Rattan King. Ningqing's heart moved, and he immediately brought out the underworld crow ghost Rattan King. The moment Ningqing brought out the underworld crow ghost Rattan King, it immediately began to spread crazily. Contrary to the black mist, the underworld crow ghost Rattan King's rattan branches began to grow from its main vine. Countless branches sprouted out from the main vine, and then more branches sprouted out from the branches. In the blink of an eye, they covered the surrounding space. The endless black dots formed from the black mist, like moths flying into a flame, were sucked away by the underworld crow ghost Rattan King's rattan branches. Some of the bigger black spots seemed to have gained spiritual wisdom, and wanted to avoid the underworld crow ghost Rattan King's vines as much as possible. However, at this time, the underworld crow ghost Rattan King's branches forcibly rushed up and swept away the black dots. Ningqing breathed in a sigh of relief. He felt sure that Xiao Jierui cultivated a devil technique. Looking at the situation, Xiao Jirui's bad luck for this devil technique to bump into the recently advanced underworld crow ghost Rattan King. While Xiao Jirui was still in shock, Ningqing's sunset's twilight finally arrived. Time came to a standstill once more, and the surroundings froze once more. Xiao Jirui roared. But before he could break free from sunset's twilight, he saw a distant ancient road at the end of the sunset. With just one step, he stood on the ancient path. The ancient path was long and distant. Strong winds swept up the yellow sand, obscuring the ancient path so that one could only vaguely see the blurry shadow in front. In the gaps between the yellow sands, he saw the scene of him breaking up with his lover before he started cultivating. On the other side of the yellow sand, his lover looked at him with red eyes. "Don't leave." A kind of sadness filled his body and mind, and a kind of nostalgia made it difficult for him to choose. At this moment, his world was filled with sadness. At this moment, his heart turned gray. Was it to depend on each other, or to separate? The ancient path in front of him, the west wind, the wild sand, the thin horse in front of him, his lover, the village, the thin horse beside him neighed, telling him that it was time to leave. It told him that he should pursue a bigger world. It told him that this was just a stop in his life. It told him that he should strengthen his Tao heart. The yellow sand rolled up again, seemingly sweeping away the blurry figure of his lover in the distance. He even wanted to chase after her, but his Tao heart was as hard as iron. Therefore he turned around resolutely. An icy chill suddenly pulsated from the deepest part of his heart. This icy chill instantly filled his body and mind, and everything in front of him disappeared without a trace. He felt an aura of death coming from the depths of his soul. Xiao Jirui's body turned cold, and he didn't even think about it. He crazily burned his lifespan and twisted his body. Almost at the same time that Xiao Jirui sobered up and burned his lifespan to twist his body, Ningqing's long spear slammed into Xiao Jirui's left chest. Poof! A mist of blood filled the sky, and Ningqing saw Xiao Jirui turn into a black light and disappear without a trace. Ningqing fell down on the underworld crow ghost Rattan King, and spat out a mouthful of blood. Xiao Jirui was too powerful. Not only was he strong, but his Tao heart was also firm. Ningqing's sunset's twilight combined with the none to depend on spirit technique couldn't kill this person. All he did was leave an arm behind. Facing such a powerful opponent like Xiao Jirui, Ningqing had to cast several spirit techniques at the same time. Fortunately, Xiao Jirui escaped immediately after suffering severe injuries. If he hadn't escaped, Ningqing would have suffered severe injuries today. Swallowing a few medicinal pills, Ningqing took in a deep breath. He knew that the stronger the opponent, the more energy he would consume to cast spirit techniques. Especially the none to depend on spirit technique, the stronger the opponent's Dao heart, the more energy it would take to cast it. If it were an ordinary late-stage eternal cultivator, Ningqing could have killed the other party with both Sunset's Twilight and none to depend on spirit techniques without suffering any backlash. But Qiao Jierwei wasn't an ordinary cultivator. But Ningqing also knew that if Qiao Jierwei hadn't reached Dao-confirming realm, this would be the closest Qiao Jierwei would ever get to him. Once he advanced to the eternal realm, Qiao Jierwei wouldn't stand a chance in front of him. Qiao Jierwei didn't know that Ningqing had also exhausted himself. In fact, even if he knew, he wouldn't dare to stay and kill Ningqing. At this moment he regretted stopping Ningqing. He didn't expect Ningqing's progress to be so terrifying. In just a few years, Ningqing had already reached this level. No wonder Chuan Xinluo didn't fight against Ningqing. Ningqing's cultivation wasn't any weaker than Chuan Xinluo's before he reached Dao-confirming realm. But at this moment, even Qiao Jierwei knew that his vision was far inferior to Chuan Xinluo's. If it weren't for his firm Dao heart, which allowed him to resolutely turn around in the face of the spirit technique's confusion, this universe would have long since ceased to exist. Ningqing wasn't in the mood to chase after Qiao Jierwei, but before he could bring out the starry sky wheel again, a burst of thunder resounded over the starry sky. Ningqing had already faced tribulation several times, so he naturally knew what was going on. Thunder tribulation had arrived. Thunder tribulation? Ningqing frowned as he looked at the distant starry sky. He really couldn't understand why he would face a thunder tribulation at this time. Hadn't he advanced to the eternal realm yet? Moreover, he felt that he was still a small step away from the eternal realm, not to mention facing a thunder tribulation. Ningqing wasn't afraid of facing a tribulation. What he feared was a waste of time. The underworld crow ghost Rot Tan King sent out a thought, asking Ningqing to step aside a little. Only then did Ningqing realize that the underworld crow ghost Rot Tan King was about to face its tribulation. Although Ningqing was anxious to go back, he could only wait for the underworld crow ghost Rot Tan King to face its tribulation. 9 lightning arcs descended, and the scattered vines of the underworld crow ghost Rot Tan King instantly gathered together, turning into 9 thick vine branches that collided with the 9 descending lightning arcs. Bursts of pungent burnt smell spread out, and Ningqing understood that the underworld crow ghost Rot Tan King's vine branches had been burnt by the lightning arcs. Knowing that the underworld crow ghost Rot Tan King suffered a loss, Ningqing didn't plan to take action. For any living creature, surmounting a tribulation was a manifestation of strength improvement. If he forcibly took action, it might affect the underworld crow ghost Rot Tan King. The underworld crow ghost Rot Tan King didn't disappoint Ningqing. Even if its vine branches were burnt, it quickly stretched out its vine branches again and again, clashing with the lightning tribulation arcs. The underworld crow ghost Rot Tan King and Ningqing had a spiritual connection. Therefore, Ningqing could feel the underworld crow ghost Rot Tan King's injuries. At the same time, he also felt the underworld crow ghost Rot Tan King's aura growing stronger. As the lightning tribulation arcs descended one after another, even Ningqing couldn't help but admire the tenacity of the underworld crow ghost Rot Tan King. These lightning tribulation arcs were not worth mentioning at all to him, but for the underworld crow ghost Rot Tan King, each lightning arc carried fatal damage. Boom boom boom. After the last few lightning tribulation arcs descended, a starry sky spiritual chi cloud descended from the starry sky. The underworld crow ghost Rot Tan King's vine branches stretched out crazily and easily swept away the starry sky spiritual chi cloud. Another hour passed, and the underworld crow ghost Rot Tan King's aura grew even stronger. A clear voice then appeared in Ningqing's consciousness. Master, I succeeded in surmounting the tribulation. I can now completely separate from the true spirit world. I just need to transform into a tongue rune. Master? Ningqing froze for a moment, but soon understood what was going on. The underworld crow ghost Rot Tan King had learned this technique from that stupid bull. You can transform into a tongue rune. You wasted a few hours in surmounting the tribulation. You have to hurry back. Ningqing nodded. Ning Cheng's voice had just fallen when the underworld crow ghost Rotan King's vine branches covering the starry sky disappeared in an instant. A moment later, a black light fell on Ning Cheng's wrist. Ning Cheng looked at his wrist and saw that there was a faint black mark on it. What was that black mist from Qiaojieruo? After Ning Cheng brought out the starry sky wheel, he couldn't help but ask the underworld crow ghost Rotan King. The underworld crow ghost Rotan King's voice came over, replying to Master, "It's a kind of underworld devil corpse mist insect. Once trapped by the underworld devil corpse mist insect, one would end up getting eaten by this insect. Even one's essence spirit would disappear. But since he met me, he can only consider himself unlucky. I'm not afraid of things from the netherworld. For me it's a great supplement." Ning Cheng's heart moved. If the underworld crow ghost Rotan King didn't fear things from the netherworld, wouldn't it mean that he would have an assistant when he went to the ancient shadow temple? Ning Cheng didn't ask the underworld crow ghost Rotan King about it. He decided to wait until he went to the ancient shadow temple. He hadn't even reached the eternal realm yet, so it was still too early to talk about the ancient shadow temple. "Master, you must be careful of those underworld devil corpse mist insects. Once those underworld devil corpse mist insects advance, I wouldn't be able to eat those mist insects if I hadn't advanced." The underworld crow ghost Rotan King reminded Ning Cheng. Ning Cheng nodded and asked, "If I hadn't bought that wood origin crystal before, you wouldn't have advanced so quickly, would you? Could you kill those underworld devil corpse mist insects before you advanced?" The underworld crow ghost Rotan King spoke up with some shame. "Master, I couldn't eat those underworld devil corpse mist insects before I advanced." Ning Cheng secretly felt that it was a close call. If he hadn't bought a wood origin crystal by chance, which allowed the underworld crow ghost Rotan King to successfully advance, today's battle with Qiaojieruo would have ended with Ning Cheng escaping instead of Qiaojieruo. As for the 5-colored star splitter arrow, it was his trump card. He wouldn't take it out unless it was a last resort. Chapter 793. Night Essence Celestial River, Orchid Counterstar, Thorntooth Lake. Because of the huge bounty offered by Night Essence Celestial River, countless cultivators flocked to Thorntooth Lake. At this moment, cultivators could be found in any corner of Thorntooth Lake. The most difficult thing about starry sky cultivation was cultivation resources. Therefore, the reward offered by Thorntooth Lake could make ordinary cultivators suffocate with excitement. Moreover, even if they failed to complete the task, they could still obtain some resources from Thorntooth Lake. Thus, it was only natural for those loose cultivators to swarm in. In a stone chamber deep within the Thorntooth Lake, Yanji and Nalan Wuxia each sat in a corner. Since Yanji had been healing herself, Nalan Wuxia and Yanji did not have much in common. As such, she simply closed her eyes and cultivated. "Do you use a transfer talisman every time you come in and out of this place?" Yanji, who was in the middle of healing, suddenly opened her eyes and abruptly asked a question. After so many days of recuperation, her injuries had greatly improved. Nalan Wuxia opened her eyes and shook her head. "No, I usually go out with a very hidden exit. The level of the concealment array formation at the exit is very high. No matter how many times I go in and out, I can't find the exit every time I come back. So, I usually use a teleportation talisman to come in, and only leave from that exit." "I'm leaving," Yanji said with a sigh. Nalan Wuxia frowned. "If you go out now, you'll just be courting death. There are many rooms here. If you don't want to cultivate with me, you can find a quiet room to cultivate." Yanji calmly spoke up. "It's not that, it's because if I stay here, then both of us would die." Nalan Wuxia replied with a calm voice, "Don't worry. I know the origin of that Shangguan man. Her father, Shangguan Xiang, is the Celestial River King of Night Essence Celestial River. A Celestial River King wouldn't be able to find this place, I'm sure." Yanji stood up and shook her head. "You only know that Shangguan Xiang is the Celestial River King of Night Essence Celestial River. Do you know who Shangguan Xiang's elder brother is?" Seeing Nalan Wuxia looking at her in confusion, Yanji explained, "Shangguan Xiang's elder brother is called Shangguan Fei. He's the Starry Sky Heavenly Emperor of 9 Jewels Starry Sky. If I hadn't killed Shangguan Man, I wouldn't have known about this. Nalan Rushua was shocked by Yanji's words, and was unable to speak even a single word for a long time. The Starry Sky Great Emperor was obviously a legendary Eternal Realm powerhouse. Although her place was hidden, if an Eternal Realm powerhouse came, how could she hide? What Yanji said was right. If the two of them continued to hide in this place, then it was very likely that they would end up dead. Tell me, where is the exit? Yanji, on seeing Nalan Rushua startled, directly asked. Nalan Rushua did not answer Yanji's words. She also stood up and hurried out of the house. Yanji, on seeing this, also followed Nalan Rushua out. Nalan Rushua turned around 7 or 8 times before finally entering a bigger house. On the stone wall in the middle of the room, there was a huge array formation display. Nalan Rushua looked at this array formation display and muttered, "Even if we leave, we won't be able to escape." Yanji also stared blankly at the array formation display. The array formation display showed the movements within the Thorntooth Lake. At this time, on the display screen of the array formation, there were moving figures everywhere. Even if no eternal level powerhouses came here, just like Nalan Rushua said, they wouldn't be able to leave. Do you still want to leave now? Nalan Rushua looked at Yanji and asked again. Yanji remained silent. She knew that it didn't matter if she left or not. If she left, it would save Nalan Rushua's life. Therefore, she was willing to leave. But now, once she left, someone would immediately search her soul. At the same time, the matter of Nalan Rushua staying here would also be exposed. "I'm sorry, it's all my fault." Yanji spoke with an apologetic tone. Nalan Rushua shook her head. "It's nothing to blame." After hesitating for a while, she added, "Yanji, have you seen him since you came to the Starry Skies?" Yanji's eyes flashed with a bit of loneliness. After she entered the Tian continent, she had always wanted to find Ningcheng, but she never found him. Her personality was a bit different from Nalan Rushua's. If she liked someone, then she liked him. If she didn't like him, then she didn't like him. Boom! A roar erupted outside, followed by a violent tremor. Even Yanji and Nalan Rushua felt this tremor. Yanji and Nalan Rushua looked at each other. Both of them understood that someone would find this place sooner or later. The only reason why no one came looking for them now was because of the concealment array. Once Yanji said that an eternal level powerhouse came here, even the concealment array formation would be useless. As the roars grew more and more intense, Nalan Rushua gave out a sigh. "Actually, there's a teleportation array here. Unfortunately, this teleportation array can't be activated at all." Yanji quickly asked, "Where's the teleportation array?" Nalan Rushua walked to the huge array formation display and pressed a button. The array formation display screen split open from the middle, revealing a stone door that only one person could enter. Yanji followed Nalan Rushua inside, and the array formation display screen closed again. The place where the two of them entered was a house with a radius of about 10 feet. Nalan Rushua took out a simple-looking array flag and raised it. A moment later, a teleportation array suddenly appeared in the middle of the empty house. The teleportation array exuded a powerful Dao charm. Even if Yanji and Nalan Rushua couldn't understand it, and didn't know how powerful the Dao charm was, they understood that this teleportation array wasn't a simple ancient teleportation array. At the 4 corners of the teleportation array were 4 huge grooves. Yanji understood at a glance that these grooves were places for spirit stones and the like. Why doesn't this teleportation array work? Is it broken? Yanji quickly asked. Nalan Rushua shook her head and said, "I guess this teleportation array shouldn't be broken. I'm afraid that the grade of the starry sky crystals used for teleportation is too high. I don't have such a thing. I tried using perpetual moon pills and even top-grade starry sky crystals, but none of them could activate this teleportation array. If I'm not wrong, this teleportation array either uses top-grade starry sky crystals or pure permanent essence pills to power it." "Permanent essence pills?" Yanji's heart moved and asked. Hearing Yanji's excited tone, Nalan Rushua quickly said, "Do you have permanent essence pills?" Permanent essence pills, for ordinary cultivators, weren't easy to obtain. Generally, only cultivators in the heaven-seated realm, or above could obtain permanent essence pills for cultivation or trading. Ordinary cultivators, even if they could obtain them, only a few would. I do have some permanent essence pills. Yanji nodded. She had obtained Shangguan Man Er's ring, which contained a lot of permanent essence pills and perpetual moon pills. But Nalan Rushua looked at the 4 huge grooves with some hesitation. Even if permanent essence pills could be used, these 4 grooves contained at least tens of thousands of permanent essence pills. How could Yanji have so many permanent essence pills? Boom boom, the rumbling sound grew louder and louder, as if it wanted to turn the entire underground space upside down. Yanji stepped onto the teleportation array and said to Nalan Rushua, "You come up too." After Nalan Rushua stepped onto the teleportation array, Yanji raised her hand and shot out several pill shadows. The next moment, the 4 grooves quickly filled with permanent essence pills. Gotcha! When the sound came from outside, the permanent essence pills in the 4 grooves of the teleportation array started to spin violently. 4 streams of pure starry sky spirit chi rushed out and seeped into the teleportation array. Yanji and Nalan Rushua, who stood on the teleportation array, could clearly feel a more violent force rolling up from the ground. The two looked at each other in horror and subconsciously clenched each other's hands. This violent force definitely couldn't be achieved with the tens of thousands of permanent essence pills that Yanji took out. At this moment, the two understood that the permanent essence pills in the 4 grooves could only stimulate the starry sky spirit vein under the teleportation array. Buzz. A harsh sound emerged, and Yanji and Nalan Rushua found themselves wrapped in a white light. A moment later, a wave of dizziness washed over them, and the two instantly fainted without even a shred of consciousness. After the two teleported away, the teleportation array in the house returned to normal and quickly concealed itself with a concealment array formation. Not knowing how long it took, Yanji and Nalan Rushua woke up at the same time. Nalan Rushua stood up and swept out with her spiritual consciousness. After just a few breaths she said, "This isn't Thorntooth Lake. We got teleported away, but I don't know where we are." Yanji also stood up. She looked at the stone house where the two were, listened for a while, and said, "If I didn't guess wrong, we should be in the water." "What should we do now?" Nalan Rushua asked subconsciously. Having escaped death, she felt much better than before. Yanji looked at the teleportation array. "The first thing we need to do now is to dismantle the main components of this teleportation array." Nalan Rushua quickly understood that Yanji was right. Only by dismantling this teleportation array could they consider the next step. Thousand Cry Star, Tipping Rainbow City, the main city of Night Essence Celestial River. At this time, a blue-robed young cultivator with a light beard walked into Tipping Rainbow City's trade union. As soon as he entered the trade union, he saw the first eye-catching bounty poster on the huge task screen, with Yanji's image clearly visible. The blue-robed cultivator angrily punched out and smashed the trade union's huge task screen into pieces. If not for his sanity, this punch would have destroyed the entire Starry Sky City. Just when everyone felt shocked, the blue-robed cultivator angrily said, "Whoever dares to touch even a strand of Yanji's hair, I will kill them." After saying that, the blue-robed cultivator's figure flashed and disappeared without a trace. It wasn't until this moment that the entire trade union woke up. Someone dared to smash the trade union's task array formation screen. It was simply courting death. By the time several trade union deacons rushed out, the cultivator who smashed the task array formation screen had already disappeared. Since they couldn't even see his shadow, how could they let him die? The blue-robed young cultivator naturally was Ning Chung, who had just arrived at Night Essence Celestial River. When he saw that the trade union's task screen really showed him Yanji, he immediately became angry. With the intensity of the bounty, even if Yanji tried to hide, she would have nowhere to go. After smashing the trade union's task array formation screen, he immediately rushed towards Thorntooth Lake. He couldn't let anything happen to Yanji. Chapter 794. In the depths of Thorntooth Lake, countless cultivators were attacking the same place. Gotcha and roaring sounds rang out from time to time, giving people the feeling that this place was about to explode. Ji Luofei stood in the crowd. She had seen the concealment array break, and the defensive array about to break apart. It made her feel anxious. Since so many people couldn't find Yanji in Thorntooth Lake, she felt almost certain that Yanji had used some method to hide under this concealment array. Another gotcha sound emerged. Ji Luofei could no longer stand the situation where she could only watch and not help. She abruptly rushed out of the crowd. The crowd, who had been attacking the defensive array, felt startled when they saw Ji Luofei rush out. Soon some people saw Ji Luofei's cultivation and appearance. It turned out to be a stunning female cultivator. Among rogue cultivators, there weren't many female cultivators as beautiful as Ji Luofei. Senior, this junior suggests that we don't attack this defensive array for now. Ji Luofei walked to the middle-aged man in charge of attacking the array and bowed. This middle-aged man had a sinister look on his face. He was Night Essence Celestial River King Shangguan Xiang. Shangguan Xiang stared at Ji Luofei for a while before asking with a calm voice, "Why?" Ji Luofei spoke up again. "This defensive array doesn't look simple. Maybe an ancient powerhouse's treasure trove lies behind this defensive array. This junior suggests dispersing everyone and making further plans." Shangguan Xiang nodded with a seemingly appreciative tone. "Good point. Are you a little worried about Yanji?" "Yes." Ji Luofei subconsciously answered, but her face immediately turned pale. She knew that she had fallen for a trap. Her cultivation wasn't enough in front of a celestial river king. From the first sentence she spoke, this person had already guessed that she wanted to help Yanji. Yanji didn't even have time to resist before Shangguan Xiang slapped her away. Not waiting for Yanji to fall to the ground, Shangguan Xiang's cold voice sounded out. "Go, strip off all her clothes and nail her in this place. After we catch that bitch Yanji, everyone can go and enjoy her." Pff. Ji Luofei opened her mouth and spat out a mouthful of blood. The slap sent her flying. She wanted to commit suicide, but a powerful force was binding her. She couldn't commit suicide at all. "This woman is useful to me." Standing behind Shangguan Xiang was a cultivator with a black baleful aura over his face. He looked at Ji Luofei, who had been sent flying, and suddenly spoke up. The eagle-nosed man next to the black-faced cultivator immediately said, "Brother Xiang, leave this woman to Brother Tung." "Yes, elder brother." The man who had slapped Ji Luofei a moment ago quickly bowed and spoke. Standing next to him were his elder brother Shangguan Fei and Devil Domain's Starry Sky Heavenly Emperor Tung Xiao. As eternal powerhouses, Shangguan Fei and Tung Xiao naturally disdained taking action against a puny cultivator who hadn't even reached the Heaven's Mandate realm. But when he was about to grab Ji Luofei, of luoing Luofei, and he had to say, to of killing intent, and out to "There's a killing array here, we just triggered it." A cry of alarm rang out, and all the cultivators retreated one after another. "There's a killing array here. Someone just triggered it." A scream came out, and all the cultivators immediately retreated. From this, one could see how powerful this killing array was. That woman was right about one thing. This place really is an ancient array formation. This woman is really good. I like her. The man with the black face smiled and raised his hand to grab Ji Luofei. Ji Luofei's face showed despair. She didn't even have room to resist. Just as the invisible celestial essence palm was about to grab her, Ji Luofei suddenly felt a pair of hands holding her in his arms. Feeling hugged, Ji Luofei frantically tried to break free, but she immediately stopped and murmured, "Ningcheng, is that you?" "It's me, Luofei. I'm back." A soft voice arrived, followed by a gentle palm caressing her face. Ji Luofei only felt a cooling sensation on her face. Shangguan Xiang's slap, which had turned purple, quickly faded and returned to its original whiteness. Ji Luofei, who once again felt her freedom, looked up and saw Ningcheng's face. It was the face she wanted to see even in her dreams. She immediately hugged Ningcheng and burst into tears. Perhaps she never thought that she, a cultivator in Heaven's Mandate realm, would one day cry so sadly. Perhaps she never thought that she would be so fragile. Taking Sister Qianghua and escaping from the everlasting sacred shrine, entering the ice immortal ridge alone to search for opportunities, almost dying, entering secluded cultivation alone, coming to the Thorn-Tooth Lake alone to save Yanji. Everything showed that she, Ji Luofei, wasn't a fragile woman. She had a strong heart. But at this moment, she couldn't be strong. "It's you?" The man with the black face frowned and snorted when he saw Ning Cheng. At the same time, he retracted his imposing aura that bound Ji Luofei. "Ting Xiao, I'll deal with you later." Ning Cheng stared at Ting Xiao and spoke with a cold voice. Then he swept his gaze towards Shang Guanxiang. At this moment, a flying sword fell into Shang Guanxiang's hand. As Shang Guanxiang's spiritual consciousness swept over the flying sword, he suddenly became furious and spoke up. "Big brother, someone went to my Thousand Cry Star and smashed the guild's big screen in Tipping Rainbow City." "Did you slap my wife just now?" Ning Cheng interrupted Shang Guanxiang's words. His tone didn't even contain any anger. He just wanted to confirm a fact. Shang Guanxiang put down the matter of someone daring to smash the guild's big screen and frowned at Ning Cheng. "Your wife?" "Yes. I was the one who slapped her. If it weren't for Heavenly Emperor Xiaoping wanting this woman, I would have already stripped her naked and nailed her here, and then..." He felt extremely unhappy in his heart. Not only did his daughter get killed, but the murderer hadn't even been caught yet. Moreover, someone dared to come to his lair. At this moment, when he heard Ning Cheng say that Ji Luofei was his wife, the killing intent in his heart surged even more. He was a life and death expert, and his big brother, Shang Guanfei, was a middle-stage Eternal Realm expert. As for Heavenly Emperor Xiaoping, who came with his big brother, he was a late-stage Eternal Realm expert. No matter how powerful Ning Cheng's background was, he wouldn't put him in his eyes. Ji Luofei immediately woke up on hearing Shang Guanxiang's voice. She panicked and quickly let go of Ning Cheng's hand. "Dear, you should leave." She had been here for a long time and naturally knew that Shang Guanxiang's big brother, Shang Guanfei, was also here. Shang Guanfei was a legendary eternal-level powerhouse. Even if Ning Cheng grew stronger, if he didn't escape in time, he wouldn't have a chance to escape from an eternal-level powerhouse. "Shut up." Shang Guanfei anxiously called out to Shang Guanxiang to shut up. But Ning Cheng had already raised his hand to grab Shang Guanxiang. Shang Guanfei, on seeing Ning Cheng make his move, no longer cared about anything else. His domain violently pressed down on Ning Cheng while simultaneously bringing out his weapon. However, Shang Guanfei soon found that his domain couldn't resist Ning Cheng's domain at all. Not only could he not put up any resistance, but when his domain met Ning Cheng's powerful domain aura, it started to shatter inch by inch. "Brother Tung, help me." Shang Guanfei had just spoken these words when Ning Cheng's celestial essence hand grabbed Shang Guanxiang's neck and lifted him up. Shang Guanxiang felt a chill run down his spine. He never thought that a cultivator in the life and death realm like him would end up in a chokehold. Even his big brother couldn't stop it. Who the hell was this person with such a terrifying cultivation? Seeing Ning Cheng pick up Shang Guanxiang out of thin air, Shang Guanfei forcibly stopped his attack and cupped his fists towards Ning Cheng. "Sect Master Ning, my younger brother spoke rudely before. I hereby apologize to Sect Master Ning. Since my younger brother didn't know Sect Master Ning's face, I ask Sect Master Ning to show mercy." "Sect Master Ning?" Shang Guanxiang felt a chill run down his spine. He finally remembered who Ning Cheng was. Ning Cheng had come to Nine Jewels Starry Sky alone and killed Everlasting Sacred Shrine's eternal-level powerhouse, seeking intelligence. Compared to seeking intelligence, an eternal-level powerhouse, Shang Guanxiang was just a celestial river king in the life and death realm. After understanding this, Shang Guanxiang could no longer control the cold sweat on his body. The more he thought about it, the colder his heart became. After countless years of suffering, he finally reached his current status. But this status would soon disappear, and even his life would soon cease to exist. How could he not feel terrified? As for this Sect Master Ning fearing his big brother and letting him go, he didn't even dare to think about it. This Sect Master Ning even dared to attack Chuan Xinluo, so why would he fear his big brother? Ning Cheng acted as if he hadn't heard Shang Guanfei's words at all, and stared at Shang Guanxiang coldly. "Do you know why I didn't kill you immediately? I want to tell you two things. First, I was the one who broke Tipping Rainbow City's guild screen. Second, not only tipping Rainbow City, but even Night Essence Celestial River will have nothing to do with you in the future. After saying this, Ningqing raised his hand and threw Shangguanxiang out. Not waiting for Shangguanxiang and Shangguanfei to breathe a sigh of relief, Ningqing punched out. Bang! Shangguanxiang, who was still in the air, exploded like a ball under Ningqing's punch, turning him into a bloody mist. From the beginning to the end, Shangguanxiang didn't even have the chance to beg for mercy. The surroundings turned silent. Shangguanxiang was a celestial river king, yet someone punched him into a bloody mist. Even his essence spirit disappeared. Moreover, this celestial river king didn't even show the slightest ability to resist. Who was this person? How could he be so powerful? Ji Luofei, on seeing Ningqing kill Shangguanxiang with a single punch, exclaimed in shock. Her eyes widened in disbelief. Ningqing, you're courting death. Seeing his brother killed by Ningqing with a single punch, Shangguanfei could no longer contain his anger. The murderous aura from the 10 flying umbrellas, suspended above his head, spread out in waves and merged with his domain. The angrier he got, the calmer his heart became. As a starry sky heavenly emperor, Shangguanfei knew that if he didn't kill Ningqing today, he would never get another chance in the future. Not because of anything else, but because Devil Domain Starry Skies Teng Xiao was here today. Teng Xiao had long disliked Ningqing and would definitely help him. After today, it would only be a dream to hire a helper as powerful as Teng Xiao in the future. Chapter 795. Without Shangguanfei's command, Teng Xiao raised his hand and shot out a golden light towards Ningqing. He had long since found Ningqing unpleasant to the eye. Even if Shangguanfei didn't do it, he would have taught Ningqing a lesson. Ningqing even feared Xiao Jierwei? Did Xiao Jierwei fear Teng Xiao? Xiao Jierwei had only lived tens of thousands of years longer than him. But in his eyes, Xiao Jierwei was just a nobody. Seeing Teng Xiao make his move, how could Shangguanfei slow down for even half a moment? The murderous aura of the 10 flying umbrellas blasted out without reservation towards Ningqing. The cultivators near Shangguanfei didn't even have a chance to resist before the 10 flying umbrellas' murderous aura blasted them to pieces. Ningqing's spiritual sense passed on to Ji Luofei. Ji Luofei naturally wouldn't resist Ningqing's arrangement. The moment she released her consciousness, Ningqing sent her into the true spirit world. Ji Luofei had just entered the true spirit world when the golden light shot out by Teng Xiao turned into a gray dragon with a golden back and golden claws. The dragon roared and rushed towards Ningqing. A majestic dragon pressure pressed down, suppressing the cultivators with low cultivation to the ground. Then Shangguanfei's 10 flying umbrellas' murderous aura invaded them and killed them on the spot. Since these cultivators came here to capture Yanji, Ningqing naturally wouldn't take action. In fact, he couldn't do anything. But when Teng Xiao made his move, Ningqing understood that this fellow wasn't any weaker than Xiao Jierwei. This fellow was a powerhouse among powerhouses. Roar! A soul-shaking roar erupted, and the dragon's body grew bigger and bigger, almost reaching a few thousand feet in length. The giant tail swept towards Ningqing, and the surrounding space gave off a chi-chi sound. It felt as if this giant tail would tear apart the entire space if it used just a little bit more power. Under such a terrifying dragon, Ningqing felt like a lonely boat in the sea, swaying in the wind and rain. As for the cultivators in front of the dragon's tail, they all turned into nothingness. The cultivators in the distance immediately fled. This kind of battle wasn't something they could watch. The dragon's tail directly shattered Ningqing's domain and blasted towards Ningqing's head. It was Ningqing's first time encountering such a violent and powerful creature. Moreover, this dragon was not a real one. Rather, it was condensed from rays of light. Ningqing did not know what kind of light it was, but he felt a trace of origin aura. Not only did this huge light dragon possess the soul of a dragon, but it also possessed such a powerful battle aura. Boom! Ningqing's long spear and the dragon's tail collided, and the thorn tooth lake suddenly opened up a 100-foot-long gully. A powerful backlash came crashing down on him, causing Ningqing to unconsciously fly out. This dragon's terrifying power definitely did not belong to Teng Xiao. Ningqing instantly understood. No matter how strong Teng Xiao was, It was impossible for him to possess such terrifying power. No wonder this person didn't take him seriously. In Teng Xiao's eyes, his life and death were in Teng Xiao's hands. Shang Guanfei didn't expect Teng Xiao to turn out to be so powerful. Feeling pleasantly surprised, he gathered the murderous aura of the 10 extremes flying umbrellas and condensed it into a substantial killing intent imposing manner. Ningqing raised his hand and also brought out a golden light. At the same time, his long spear transformed into a sunset rainbow that shot towards Shang Guanfei. Ningqing had to kill one of them first. Shang Guanfei's cultivation wasn't worth mentioning in Ningqing's eyes, but this fellow cooperating with Teng Xiao to deal with him gave him a lot of pressure. After Ningqing brought out the golden light, it instantly soared and transformed into a huge jade seal over 1,000 feet in size above the Thorntooth Lake. The hope-powered jade seal that Ningqing brought out collided with the dragon's palm, and a series of explosions erupted. The explosion felt as if the entire Thorntooth Lake had shattered and turned upside down. At this moment, all the cultivators in the Thorntooth Lake, all the starry sky demonic beasts, and all the living creatures fled. Staying in this place any longer would only result in death. Boom 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 boom. Amidst the violent explosions, one terrifying gully after another appeared above the Thorntooth Lake. Although Ningqing found it somewhat difficult to deal with this golden light dragon, he still tried his best to restrain his power for fear of completely destroying the Thorntooth Lake. Ningqing's hope-powered jade seal blocked the light dragon's huge claw shadow, causing the golden light dragon to erupt with violent roars. It felt as if this golden light dragon's body had a real life, for golden claws slammed down at the same time, and an even more majestic, imposing aura swept out. At this moment, only the 4 terrifying dragon claws remained in this world. Except for one place, this place belonged to Ningqing. Ningqing had arranged Sunset's twilight in this place. Shang Guanfei's 10 flying umbrellas murderous aura abruptly stopped by Ningqing's Sunset's twilight. Under Ningqing's Sunset's twilight spirit technique, Shang Guanfei saw the setting sun and saw everything come to a standstill. This was the first time he saw his own 10 flying umbrellas murderous aura freeze. It was also the first time he faced a laws of time-related spirit technique. How could the 10 flying umbrellas murderous aura stop? Shang Guanfei hadn't figured it out, yet when an aura of death enveloped him. As someone who had cultivated to the middle stage eternal realm, he naturally became extremely sensitive to death. No, this was a laws of time-related spirit technique. Shang Guanfei's soul almost flew out of his body. The moment he understood the laws of time-related spirit technique, he felt a chill between his eyebrows. There was an explosion, and then his primordial spirit saw his body crumble. Ningqing's long spear's murderous aura wrapped around his essence spirit. Shang Guanfei couldn't believe that he couldn't even block a single move from Ningqing. Boom. Almost at the same time as Ningqing killed Shang Guanfei, a pitch-black iron rod smashed into Ningqing's long spear, and a thick celestial essence burst out. After Ningqing killed Shang Guanfei, the Sunset's twilight spirit technique had dissipated, and the killing intent from his long spear had also weakened to a minimum. However, Teng Xiao chose to attack Ningqing at this time, which showed that he never considered saving Shang Guanfei. Instead, he calculated his own benefits to the maximum. Even Shang Guanfei's death was within his calculations. Ningqing's long spear gave off a buzzing sound before Teng Xiao's iron rod blasted it away. Teng Xiao's iron rod instantly swept away the murderous aura around the two. Ningqing lost the initiative at this moment, and the iron rod shot out like a black light towards Ningqing's chest. Bang! With a dull sound, Ningqing opened his mouth and spat out a mouthful of blood. His entire body flew backwards, and a tearing pain erupted from his chest. Ka-ka-ka-ka-ka. At the same time, the golden dragon's 4 huge dragon claws stretched out. 2 front claws slammed into Ningqing's hope-powered jade seal, while the 2 rear claws slammed into Ningqing, who had fallen victim to Teng Xiao's sneak attack. Ningqing gave a muffled groan and hurriedly punched out. Boom! The celestial essence burst out again, and Ningqing's punch, which contained an endless spear intent, slammed into the golden dragon's claw. However, it felt as if it had punched an iron plate. The killing intent dissipated, and his killing intent had no effect on the golden dragon's claw. Bang! The golden dragon's other rear claw slammed into Ningcheng's back again, and a tearing pain erupted. Ningcheng spat out another mouthful of blood, and at the same time, flew out with the help of the impact. Teng Xiao looked at Ningcheng in shock and murmured, "You turned out to be a body-forging cultivator with a starry sky body, a starry sky body." If not for his starry sky body, whether it was his iron rod or the dragon's claw, both would have crushed Ningcheng's corporeal body. Ningcheng landed on the ground and swallowed a few medicinal pills. He secretly rejoiced that he had sent Ji Luofei into the true spirit world. Teng Xiao's strength was weaker than Xiao Jierwei, but not by much. Moreover, after his fight with Xiao Jierwei, his strength had not yet recovered to its peak. Coupled with his eagerness to kill Sheng Guanfei, Teng Xiao decided to take advantage of it. Moreover, Teng Xiao's golden dragon was too powerful. Due to various reasons, he suffered a loss when he fought against Teng Xiao. But now that Sheng Guanfei was gone, he didn't believe that he couldn't kill Teng Xiao. As long as he could kill Teng Xiao's golden dragon, Teng Xiao wouldn't be worth mentioning. This golden melon dragon contained a kind of light origin, and seemed to have a powerful dragon soul, which made Ningcheng feel extremely fearful. Ningcheng thought of a way to deal with it in the shortest time possible. He would constantly bring out the time wheel to entangle the golden dragon, and then kill Teng Xiao while the golden dragon was entangled. Time wheel and sunset's twilight were both laws of time-related spirit techniques. But the time wheel and sunset's twilight were completely different. The time wheel was a group-killing spirit technique. The more opponents it dealt with, the more powerful the time wheel would become. It could even turn everything in front of it into a flat river. The golden dragon couldn't fight against so many opponents, but Ningcheng felt that the golden dragon was composed of countless rays of light, which made it similar in nature to his opponents. "I know that you've come into contact with the laws of time. But even if you came into contact with the laws of time, you would still be buried here today." Teng Xiao's shock flashed through his eyes. He raised his hand and picked up Sheng Guanfei's ring before rushing towards Ningcheng again. The golden dragon opened its 4 claws at the same time that Teng Xiao rushed towards Ningcheng. Covering the entire space within its claws, it also grabbed at Ningcheng. Ningcheng's long spear hovered over his head, but he didn't have even half a thought of using it. This made Teng Xiao, who wanted to attack Ningcheng, feel a little uncomfortable. But he couldn't tell why. The dragon's 4 golden claws grew bigger and bigger, and even covered the sky above Ningcheng with a golden hue. Seeing that the dragon was about to reach Ningcheng, Teng Xiao felt ecstatic. As long as his origin dragon soul caught Ningcheng, Ningcheng would be at his mercy. Not to mention Ningcheng, even if Xiao Jierwei and Chuan Xinluo got caught by his dragon, they would be at his mercy. But at this moment, Ningcheng moved. He raised his hand and also shot out a ray of light. Unlike the golden light released by the golden dragon, Ningcheng shot out a gray light that was so weak that it was almost invisible to the naked eye. The Tao charm of the laws of time condensed within this gray light, and swept out in an instant. Poof! Just like a knife stabbing into a body, the golden dragon's claw that was about to grab Ningcheng suddenly slowed down. Then countless rays of golden light overflowed in all directions. The 10-foot-long golden dragon shrank in an instant, and the majestic imposing manner it used to grab Ningcheng also slowed down at this moment. Even the golden light over the dragon's claw dimmed. Chapter 796. Ningcheng felt pleasantly surprised. His original idea was to use the time wheel to stop this golden light dragon, and wait until he killed Teng Xiao. He didn't expect that his time wheel would have such a powerful effect, which could directly shrink the golden light dragon. Ningcheng immediately changed his strategy. Instead of dealing with Teng Xiao, he kept blasting out one time wheel after another. Although the golden light dragon was powerful, it didn't have any Tao charm flowing around it. For Ningcheng, using this spirit technique to deal with the golden light dragon consumed much less energy compared to dealing with Xiao Jierwei. At this moment, the endless gray light wheels were like layers upon layers of waves crashing towards the giant golden dragon. The golden light around the golden light dragon grew dimmer, and its thousands of feet long body shrank rapidly. Teng Xiao froze. Since his debut, He had never seen anyone who could contain his golden light origin dragon soul. Ordinary attacks didn't pose much of a threat to his golden light origin dragon soul at all. What kind of light will did Ningqing blast out? Not only did it contain the laws of time, but it also contained such power? At this time, Ningqing abandoned the golden light dragon and shot out a spear pattern towards Teng Xiao with the spear in his hand. Without the threat of the golden light dragon, Teng Xiao's strength decreased by more than half. What's more, his mind wasn't on Ningqing, but on the golden light dragon. Sunset's twilight was a spirit technique that deprived one's mind of the laws of time. If Teng Xiao focused on fighting Ningqing, he might have been able to avoid Ningqing's sunset's twilight and fight for a chance to escape. But he thought too highly of himself and didn't care about Ningqing's sunset's twilight. At this moment, all Teng Xiao could see was a setting sun. As Ningqing expected, without the golden light dragon interfering with Ningqing, Teng Xiao couldn't break free from his sunset's twilight at all. The iron rod that shot towards Ningqing came to a stop, and in front of Teng Xiao's eyes, there was only the setting sun. The setting sun was infinitely beautiful, but it was near dusk. Spirit technique sunset's twilight. A crazy voice struggled in Teng Xiao's heart. He wanted to make the still world in front of him come alive again. Maybe in just one breath, Teng Xiao felt sure that the still world in front of him would come alive again. It was just that this moment was too far away, so far that he would never be able to wait for it. Ningqing's long spear finally exploded into Teng Xiao's dantian. The long spear tore apart Teng Xiao's dantian and meridians, tearing apart his soul. Teng Xiao's primordial spirit seeped out and wanted to escape with a panicked expression. However, Ningqing's powerful domain had already bound the surrounding space. Therefore, under Ningqing's domain, Teng Xiao's life essence couldn't even move. Teng Xiao's heart was filled with regret when a ball of flame descended. He didn't regret going against Ningqing, but regretted not having a powerful escape spirit technique. If it was possible, even if he had to go bankrupt, he would exchange it for an escape divine art. As the flame swept through, Teng Xiao's corporeal body and life essence completely turned into nothingness, while the two rings fell into Ningqing's hands. Ningqing breathed a sigh of relief, before shifting his gaze towards the still shrinking golden light dragon. At this time, this light dragon could not be said to be huge. Its entire body was less than 5 feet in diameter. Ningqing raised his hand and shot out another time wheel. The already dim light dragon gave out a shrill cry before disappearing without a trace. A faint ray of light descended, and Ningqing raised his hand and grabbed this faint ray of light from the void. It was a dragon-shaped light shadow. Yes, it was indeed a light shadow. Although it was invisible, it had a light essence to it. Moreover, this light shadow contained a trace of a powerful dragon aura. However, this aura was bound by the light shadow. This was an origin dragon soul, and it was also the most powerful origin dragon soul, the light origin dragon soul. Ningqing sucked in a breath of cold air. From a certain point of view, the value of an origin dragon soul wasn't much lower than an origin bead. Origin dragon souls were formed like amber. They were extremely rare. Normally, origin dragon souls were formed in the ancient era. In ancient times, origin aura was dense, and powerhouses were as common as clouds. Countless battles between powerhouses resulted in the fall of countless powerhouses. Even if the corporeal body of an ancient dragon collapsed during the battle, it would still have its primordial spirit and soul. In a place with rich origin aura, this primordial spirit and soul could easily be wrapped in the origin aura and sealed. After being sealed by the origin aura, the primordial spirit and soul would lose its consciousness unless someone rescued it. Once someone obtained it, they could refine the dragon soul sealed by the origin aura and turn it into a powerful helper. Whichever origin it was bound by, the dragon soul would belong to that origin dragon soul. Since Teng Xiao's dragon soul was bound by the light origin, it naturally belonged to the light origin dragon soul. The strength or weakness of an origin dragon soul depended entirely on the origin that bound the dragon soul, and the strength of the dragon soul itself. In addition to the origin dragon soul, there were also some other origin essence spirits. However, only powerful spirit beasts with noble bloodlines could form an origin essence spirit, such as dragons, cheilants, phoenixes, kuanpungs, black tortoises, and so on. Ningqing put away the light origin dragon soul in a jade box and sighed in his heart. This thing was just too valuable. Tung Xiao hadn't completely refined this light origin dragon soul yet. Otherwise, even with his starry sky body, the origin dragon soul would have smashed him to pieces. This light origin dragon soul might be his biggest harvest. Looking at the ravines on the battlefield in front of him, Ningqing finally felt a bit better. At this time, not a single cultivator remained in the surroundings. All the cultivators had already left, and the slower ones would have already died to the killing power. Ningqing called out Ji Luofei. But before he could ask why Luofei was here, Ji Luofei felt shocked by the ravines around her. Where were the many cultivators looking for Yan Ji? What about 9 Jewels Starry Sky Emperor Shangguan Fei? Seemingly seeing Ji Luofei's doubts, Ningqing caressed Ji Luofei's hair and said, I killed Shangguan Fei and that Ting Xiao. The rest escaped. Ji Luofei didn't know who Ting Xiao was. She only knew that Shangguan Fei was very strong. Hearing that Ningqing killed Shangguan Fei, even if she was slow, she understood that Ningqing's strength wasn't inferior to that of an eternal cultivator. In fact, he might have even advanced to the eternal realm. At this moment, joy filled her heart. Throwing everything aside, she turned around and once again hugged Ningqing. Her red lips had already found Ningqing's lips. Even if she was reserved, after so many years of separation from Ningqing, she couldn't contain the excitement and madness in her heart when they met again. Endless longing, anxiety, anticipation. All of it turned into a silent kiss at this moment. Not to mention that there was no one else here other than the two of them. Even if there was someone else here, she would not be able to resist the desire in her heart. Ningqing wrapped his arms around Ji Luofei's slender waist and felt Ji Luofei's soft body. All the worries in his heart melted away, because of Ji Luofei. Ji Luofei completely lost herself in it. It wasn't until Ningqing's hand fell on her chest that she suddenly sobered up and said anxiously, Dear Yanji, they came here to catch Yanji. Yanji must be under this entrapment formation. Ningqing also recovered. To be precise, he didn't come here to look for Luofei, but for Yanji. Don't worry, let's go down and have a look. Ningqing's attainments in the Tao of Arrays had already reached Starry Sky Grade 9. Moreover, this entrapment formation had already been badly damaged. Although there was still a layer of killing formations here, it didn't pose much of a threat to Ningqing. Ningqing took Ji Luofei's hand and walked to the half-broken entrapment formation before suddenly asking, Luofei, is Qianghua also here? Hearing Ningqing ask about Shi Qianghua, Ji Luofei's hand trembled. Ningqing felt that Ji Luofei's hand seemed to have turned a little cold, causing his heart to sink. He had a bad feeling about this. Ningqing stopped and looked at Ji Luofei. He truly feared that Ji Luofei would say that something had happened to Qianghua. He had learned from Mi Jin that when Luofei and Qianghua left, Qianghua's injuries had not fully recovered. What's wrong with Qianghua? Ningqing's voice trembled a little, but he still believed that Qianghua was fine. Ji Luofei's voice turned low. Someone took Sister Qianghua away. The person who took Sister Qianghua away was a woman, a very powerful one. She said that she was Sister Qianghua's younger sister, and that her mother wanted to settle accounts with you. If not for Sister Qianghua, that woman would have already killed me. Ningqing clenched his fists. When did Qianghua have a younger sister? He had never heard of such a thing. No matter who it was, if they wanted to kill Luofei, he would never let them go. Feeling Ningqing's excitement, Ji Luofei took the initiative to hold Ningqing's hand and spoke with a soft voice. Sister Qianghua will definitely be fine. When our cultivation reaches a higher level, we can go find Sister Qianghua. Ningqing's emotions calmed down, and he stroked Ji Luofei's long hair before speaking with a sigh. Luofei, I've made you suffer over the years. Ji Luofei shook her head. I didn't suffer. I just hid in a secluded place for cultivation. But you who reached the eternal realm in just a few years, must have suffered the most. Ji Luofei herself was a starry sky cultivator, so she naturally understood how difficult it was to reach the eternal realm. She had cultivated for so long, and even with so many opportunities, she only managed to advance to the Heaven's Mandate realm. She was still 108,000 miles away from the eternal realm. Since Ning Cheng could cultivate to the eternal realm, she didn't need to ask him about it. He must have suffered a lot more than her. Ning Cheng finally understood why Ji Luofei hadn't gone to the mysterious yellow celestial river. It turned out that she was in secluded cultivation, and didn't know about him establishing a sect. Luofei, I haven't reached the eternal realm yet. After going back this time, I'll go into seclusion to advance to the eternal realm. You can come back with me. I've established a sect called the Mysterious Yellow Sect. Ning Cheng spoke with a soft voice. Ji Luofei nodded softly. She didn't find it surprising that Ning Cheng could kill Shangguan Fei without advancing to the eternal realm. Ever since she and Ning Cheng got together, Ning Cheng had always been the most powerful person in her eyes. Not to mention that Ning Cheng also had the mysterious yellow bead. Ning Cheng had established the mysterious yellow sect to let her and big sister Cheonghua know about it. Let's go. Let's go in and see if Yanji is here. Ning Cheng took Ji Luofei's hand and walked directly into the somewhat broken defensive array formation. Even if this array formation didn't break, it couldn't stop him. Not to mention the fact that the formation had been blown into such a dilapidated state. Chapter 797. The lower chamber looked complicated, and for ordinary cultivators, it might take a long time to figure it out. But for Ning Cheng, it wasn't a problem at all. His spiritual consciousness swept out without reservation, and after half an incense stick worth of time, he directly led Ji Luofei to the stone room behind the big screen. Is it empty? Ji Luofei looked at the empty stone room in doubt. No. Ning Cheng took out array flags and threw them down one after another. After an incense stick worth of time, a teleportation array appeared in the middle of the stone room. The four corners of the teleportation array had 4 grooves, but this teleportation array didn't have anyone on it, and was also empty. Ning Cheng pointed to the teleportation array and said, "This teleportation array opened not long ago, and there are still spatial fluctuations around it. Luofei, come up with me, let's teleport over and have a look." After Ji Luofei entered the teleportation array, Ning Cheng took out permanent essence pills and filled the 4 grooves. But what puzzled Ning Cheng was that the teleportation array didn't move even after filling the grooves with permanent essence pills. Ning Cheng took out the permanent essence pills and put in a pile of starry sky crystals, but the teleportation array still didn't respond. Ning Cheng frowned, put away the starry sky crystals and said, "Luofei, if Yanji is indeed here, she should have already been teleported away." Then Ji Luofei understood before she could finish. "Dear, did you say that Yanji dismantled the teleportation array over there?" Ning Cheng nodded. "Yes, if it were me, I would have also dismantled it." "Then can we fix this teleportation array?" Ji Luofei asked with some worry. Ning Cheng shook his head. "This teleportation array is an ancient teleportation array. The cultivator who arranged this teleportation array has a much higher attainment in array formations compared to me. Moreover, he has a way to travel between the 2 places without using the teleportation array. I can't use this teleportation array for the time being, unless I advance to the Array Dao Master level. Only Array Emperors who surpass Starry Sky Grade 9 could be called Dao Masters. After advancing to the Array Dao Master level, Ning Cheng could modify the foundation of this teleportation array, and then teleport to the original location of the teleportation array without a fixed location." Seeing Ji Luofei's worry, Ning Cheng comforted her. "Yanji has a strong survivability. She has been wandering alone in the starry sky for so long. She should be fine after being teleported away. Later, I will completely seal this place and forbid anyone from coming here." He was comforting Ji Luofei, but in fact he was also comforting himself. 5 days later, Ning Cheng left the Thorn-Tooth Lake with Ji Luofei. He had completely sealed the entrance to the basement, and had even set up many concealment and defense formations. He could come out from the inside, but he could no longer find his way in from the outside. Unless there was someone whose array formation skills surpassed his, he would come here and slowly search. Sect Master Ning. Ning Cheng had just walked out of the Thorn-Tooth Lake with Ji Luofei when a respectful voice called out from outside the Thorn-Tooth Lake. "You're looking for me?" Ningqing looked at the pale-faced man in front of him and asked. He was sure that he had never seen this person before. This was a late-stage life and death realm cultivator. Aside from his slightly pale face, he was full of energy. Junior Luoxia has been living in 9 Jewels Starry Sky. This junior heard that Shang Guanfei, that old thief, was killed by Senior's hands. As such, this junior came to thank Senior. Luoxia bowed towards Ningqing and spoke. Ningqing didn't ask much. Since Luoxia said so, then it meant that he had a deep grudge against Shang Guanfei. Luoxia took the initiative to speak up. Shang Guanfei's sect is extremely vicious and sinister. This junior hid in 9 Jewels Starry Sky to kill this beast. Now that Senior has killed Shang Guanfei, 9 Jewels Starry Sky no longer has a Starry Sky Emperor. This junior is willing to take control of 9 Jewels Starry Sky for Senior. Ningqing showed a faint smile. He guessed that this was Luoxia's main purpose. Luoxia, 9 Jewels Starry Sky belongs to Culmination Grand Starry Sky, and it has a close relationship with Chuan Xinluo. Are you sure you want to take control of 9 Jewels Starry Sky? Ningqing looked at Luoxia and spoke with a calm voice. 9 Jewels Starry Sky was connected to Striking Order Starry Sky, but Ningqing had no intention of taking control of 9 Jewels Starry Sky. He didn't like controlling territories and becoming a Starry Sky ruler. Stately River Star was enough for him. What he liked most was freedom. Luoxia spoke up with sincerity. After this junior decided to kill Shang Guanfei for revenge, I didn't take my life seriously. Now that Senior killed Shang Guanfei to avenge me, this junior is willing to do something for Senior. Ningqing felt Luoxia's sincerity. It didn't matter if he wanted 9 Jewels Starry Sky or not. But since someone took the initiative to help him, he didn't need to push it away. Therefore, he casually agreed. Chuan Xinluo knew that he controlled 9 Jewels Starry Sky. Even if someone wanted to cause trouble, he would find Ningqing first. Since Luoxia didn't fear it, what did he fear? Well, in that case, you can take control of 9 Jewels Starry Sky. If Chuan Xinluo comes, you can just push the blame to me. I can't help you much, so you can do whatever you want. I'll give you a suggestion. It's best to follow the rules of my mysterious yellow celestial river. If there's anything urgent that you can't handle, you can send me a message. After Ningqing finished, he took out a communication pearl and handed it to Luoxia. Luoxia took the communication pearl and spoke up with excitement. Sect Master, rest assured. I will not let Sect Master down. With 9 Jewels Starry Sky, he Luoxia would one day achieve something no weaker than anyone else. To gain, one had to pay. Luoxia knew this very well. Relying on Ningqing was much better than relying on Chuan Xinluo. Chuan Xinluo didn't have a chance to speak at all. As a latecomer, he could only rely on Ningqing. Besides, Ningqing had avenged him, Luoxia. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, not to mention that Ningqing and Ji Luofei had been separated for a long time. On the way to Stately River Star, Ningqing and Ji Luofei didn't separate at all. The two lingered all the way to Stately River Star. Ningqing cultivated the mysterious yellow formless, which contained all kinds of origin auras. During the time Ji Luofei and Ningqing stayed together, not only did her cultivation improve rapidly, but even her qualifications improved once again. After Ningqing returned to Stately River Star with Ji Luofei, Ning Ruolin still remained in seclusion. Ningqing introduced Ji Luofei to everyone, and set up a separate cultivation cave for Ji Luofei in the mysterious Yellow Sect. Although Ningqing didn't come out to speak or show his face, but everyone in Stately River Star knew that Sect Master Ning had returned. There was no other reason. Every time Sect Master Ning returned, the concentration of Starry Sky Essence Qi in Stately River Star would increase again. This time was no exception. Since Ningqing obtained so many Starry Sky Spirit Veins, he naturally wouldn't be reluctant to part with them. His sister Ning Ruolin, his wife Ji Luofei, and many of his friends and subordinates all cultivated here. Why would he care about a few Starry Sky Essence Qi Spirit Veins? This time, he implanted more than a dozen Starry Sky Spirit Veins under Stately River Star. With so many star veins implanted, the Starry Sky Spirit Qi in the entire covered Snow City reached a hair-raising level. Even Stately River Star's Starry Sky Spirit Qi had increased by several times. Under such a terrifying concentration of starry sky spirit chi, even cultivators with poor qualifications could feel their progress every day. Starry sky spirit grasses also grew rapidly throughout the planet. As long as the cultivators stayed in stately River Star, none of them didn't rejoice that they could live in stately River Star. At this time, even if stately River Star didn't have strict laws, no one would dare to mess around. In case they ended up being kicked out of stately River Star, they would regret it for the rest of their lives. Ningcheng left a bunch of cultivation resources to Ji Luofei and gave her the glazed scroll. Ningcheng hadn't refined the glazed scroll since he obtained it. Even when he returned to Graceful Star Mainland, he didn't give it to Rainbow Fall Sword Sect. Originally, he wanted to give this scroll to his sister Rulin. But because Rulin's cultivation was slightly lower, and she had yet to come out of seclusion, he gave it to Luofei. In the future, when his sister came out, he would find another top-grade weapon to give to her. Ningcheng hadn't refined the glazed scroll, but he had studied it. It definitely wasn't an ordinary treasure from the true cultivation world. Rather, it was a treasure no less valuable than the 5 Elements Treasure Fall copper coin. Since he gave the 5 Elements Treasure Fall copper coin to Qianghua, he decided to leave this painting scroll to Luofei. After Luofei went into seclusion to cultivate, Ningcheng left stately River Star to find a place to cross the tribulation and advance to the eternal realm. With the power of his tribulation, he naturally couldn't cross the tribulation in a place like stately River Star. 9 Jewels Starry Sky Emperor Shangguan Fei died at the hands of mysterious Yellow Sect's sect master Ning. Luoxia took over 9 Jewels Starry Sky and became the new Starry Sky Emperor. He was also the only person to become a Starry Sky Emperor before reaching the Eternal Realm. This matter didn't seem to have caused any waves. Even Chuan Xinluo didn't say a word, seemingly acquiescing to the existence of this matter. Since even Chuan Xinluo didn't care about this matter, none of the celestial rivers in 9 Jewels Starry Sky dared to resist. Even Shangguan Fei died under Ningcheng's hands. If they dared to speak any nonsense, wouldn't they just be courting death? What's more, the Starry Sky Emperor didn't have much impact on a celestial river. At best, after 9 Jewels Starry Sky's Luoxia took over, he issued a series of laws. These laws were just words on a piece of paper. As for whether to enforce them or not, it was naturally up to the celestial river kings of each celestial river. At this time, on an uninhabited, broken planet in the striking order Starry Sky, Ningcheng was crazily absorbing the Starry Sky Spirit Chi for cultivation. Beneath him were intertwined Starry Sky Essence Chi spirit veins and piles of permanent essence pills. Endless Starry Sky Essence Chi wrapped around him and formed a huge Starry Sky Spirit Chi vortex over his head. If he hadn't sealed off this broken planet with an array formation, this concentration of Starry Sky Essence Chi would have long since spread out, allowing others to sense it. As time passed by while Ningcheng cultivated, the intertwining Starry Sky Essence Chi around Ningcheng not only didn't decrease, but instead grew denser and denser. Although his cultivation had already reached the full circle of life and death realm, the Starry Sky Essence Chi that Ningcheng absorbed still felt like a bottomless pit. Another half a month passed by, and this absorption seemed to have no end. Ningcheng took in a deep breath and tried to break through the cultivation barrier to the eternal life realm. However, Ningcheng soon felt disappointed. Even if he gathered all his cultivation, he couldn't find the cultivation barrier to the eternal realm. He couldn't even touch the boundary of cultivation, let alone break through. It was as ridiculous as trying to learn a law of time-related spirit technique without touching the edge of the laws of time. Chapter 798. Ningcheng felt a little regretful in his heart. Back then, when he had almost reached the full circle of the life and death realm in the Temple of Time, he decided to come out and look for an opportunity to advance to the eternal realm. Now it seemed that perhaps he had come out too early. After taking out a high-quality Eternal Emperor Continuance pill and swallowing it, Ningcheng once again took out a pile of permanent essence pills. In comparison, permanent essence pills had a much purer concentration of Starry Sky Essence Chi. As soon as he swallowed the Eternal Emperor Continuance pill, the The terrifying celestial essence in his body stimulated and raged. The starry sky essence spirit chi vortex that had formed above Ning Cheng turned even more violent at this moment. As the vortex grew bigger and bigger, more and more starry sky spirit chi started to suck in. The permanent essence pills around Ning Cheng dissipated at a speed visible to the naked eye, turning into starry sky spirit chi before being sucked into the vortex. The powerful eruption of the Eternal Emperor Continuance pill not only made Ning Cheng's perception of the Tao charm clearer, but the eruption of the pill spirit aura also made Ning Cheng feel the existence of the eternal realm. Ning Cheng did not hesitate to stimulate his celestial essence and rush over. Although Ning Cheng desperately wanted to break through to the eternal realm, unfortunately, even if he stimulated almost all of his celestial essence, the cultivation barrier to the eternal realm wouldn't budge. He couldn't even touch it. Ning Cheng sighed in his heart. He had so many cultivation resources, the mysterious yellow formless cultivation method, and even the Eternal Emperor Continuance pill. Attacking the eternal realm was already so difficult. If he didn't have these things, then how would he attack the eternal realm? He had to break through to the eternal realm no matter what. Chuan Xinluo didn't come out to find him, not because Chuan Xinluo feared him, but because Chuan Xinluo wanted to stabilize his cultivation. He might even be trying to understand a new spirit technique. Once Chuan Xinluo's cultivation stabilized, or even comprehended a new spirit technique, Chuan Xinluo would immediately seek out Ning Cheng. If he didn't advance to the eternal realm, he would have no way to resist Chuan Xinluo in the future. Once, twice, dozens of times in a row. No matter how much starry sky essence spirit chi Ning Cheng absorbed, it couldn't shake the cultivation barrier to the eternal realm. A few days later, Ning Cheng took out another high-grade Eternal Emperor Continuance pill and swallowed it. After swallowing the Eternal Emperor Continuance pill, the celestial essence within his body once again erupted. However, just like before, although he was getting more and more clear about the eternal realm, he still couldn't touch the threshold of the eternal realm. Ning Cheng took in a deep breath. This time, he directly took out 3 top-quality Eternal Emperor Continuance pills and swallowed them. If these 3 Eternal Emperor Continuance pills couldn't loosen his grip on the eternal realm, he decided to postpone his breakthrough to the eternal realm. This was no longer a matter of the accumulation of cultivation, but rather his lack of perception, which meant that he was not qualified to attack the eternal realm. The moment Ning Cheng swallowed the 3 Eternal Emperor Continuance pills, an extremely violent starry sky spiritual power erupted within Ning Cheng's meridians and dantian. It instantly spread to his sea of consciousness. Wave after wave of pill spirit Tao charm swept through Ning Cheng's sea of consciousness, and thoughts like endless waves. Even the everlasting Blue Thunder City automatically appeared at this time to block the terrifying explosive power, lest the sea of consciousness be destroyed by this horrifying spiritual power. A tearing pain erupted, causing Ning Cheng to spit out a mouthful of blood. Ning Cheng even suspected that the pain and the eruption of the starry sky spirit chi would tear apart his entire body in just a few moments, not to mention his meridians. That kind of pill spirit Tao rune impact was very likely to turn him into an idiot. The starry sky essence spirit chi outside started to churn, and at this moment, the word rapid couldn't even describe it. It almost formed a tornado. Ning Cheng's body started to form layers of blood beads. Ning Cheng had an intuition that if he wasn't a body forging expert with a starry sky body, his body would have exploded under this horrifying starry sky spirit chi. Ning Cheng never expected that the effects of 3 top-grade Eternal Emperor Continuance pills would be so terrifying. While operating the body forging cultivation method to consume the terrifying tearing power, he gathered all his celestial essence power, and once again rushed towards the eternal realm's cultivation barrier. Whether it was life or death, success or failure, it all depended on this one move. Ning Cheng could feel the eternal realm's calm cultivation at this moment, and the Tao charm became clearer and clearer in his consciousness. Angry axe trace, spear trace, traceless spear trace, maximal flame, sunset's twilight, time wheel none to depend on. When he touched the eternal realm's cultivation barrier, when his celestial essence power completely blasted against the eternal realm's cultivation barrier, everything became clear. Whether it was magic skills, spirit techniques, Tao charm. Boom! With a violent tremor, the Eternal Realm's cultivation suddenly felt like a gash had been cut open and rushed down. The celestial essence power that threatened to tear apart his meridians, and the violent essence chi that filled his entire body, seemed to have found a vent and rushed out. At this moment his Tao laws became clearer, and his Tao became clearer. It felt as if everything had gradually converged into one. The mysterious yellow formless was still operating, and the body-forging cultivation method was still in the process of quenching. With a burst of roars, Ningqing knew that his thunder tribulation had arrived. Even Ningcheng himself didn't expect that after consuming the 3 Eternal Emperor Continuance pills, he would break through the Eternal Realm's cultivation barrier in one go. Although the pill chi almost blew up his body, the return still made him feel happy. As the endless lightning descended, Ningqing roared once again and rushed into the sky. He felt a powerful force, and he also felt his pride. This kind of strength was something he had never experienced before. He never thought that his Tao Charm spirit techniques would become so clear after reaching the Eternal Realm. At this moment, even if he hadn't experienced the Thunder Tribulation, he felt confident that he could kill Qiao Jierwei without using none to depend on. Boom boom boom. Endless thick lightning arcs descended. But Ningqing wasn't in the mood to feel how many lightning arcs fell. He had experienced many thunder tribulations, and seen many terrifying thunder tribulations. Therefore, facing this thunder tribulation, he felt no fear at this moment. Boom boom boom. These thick lightning arcs fell on Ningcheng's forehead and tore apart Ningcheng's robes, causing blood to spill out. Ningcheng remained expressionless. He didn't even bring out the everlasting Blue Thunder City. Ka-ka-ka. The sound of bones breaking rang out continuously. Originally, because of the berserk effects of the Eternal Emperor Continuance pills, Ningcheng had started to operate the body-forging cultivation method crazily. But now, under the endless lightning arcs, Ningcheng's body forging finally reached the limit. At this moment Ningcheng's entire body trembled. His bones quickly reassembled, and his cracked skin quickly healed. When the second wave of lightning arcs fell, Ningcheng's bones and corporeal body had already finished reassembling. His body forging finally reached the next level, advancing to the late-stage starry sky body. Feeling that the damage to him from the lightning arcs had already been minimized, Ningcheng rushed up in high spirits. As he blasted out a punch after another, he used his bare fists to fight against the continuous lightning arcs. While enjoying the thunder tribulation to his heart's content, he also absorbed the aura of the thunder source. He hadn't felt this way in a long time. He liked this feeling, and it made him linger. The thunder tribulation arcs grew more powerful with each wave, and in the end, it still felt like a thunder waterfall. Ningcheng didn't feel it at all, and still wandered around the dense and terrifying lightning arcs. Fortunately, there was no one like Song Tsaiha watching from the side. Otherwise, Song Tsaiha wouldn't have believed that someone could face such a terrifying thunder tribulation. Moreover, someone could still enjoy such a terrifying thunder tribulation. Within the thunder tribulation, Ningcheng felt that his body forging cultivation was still growing, and his strength was also growing stronger. At this moment, Ningcheng even looked forward to the endless thunder tribulation. Just like that, the lightning arcs continued to fall, making his strength grow stronger. Boom boom, explosions rang out, and the broken planet Ningcheng stood on grew even more dilapidated. The terrifying thunder tribulation caused cracks to appear on the broken planet from time to time. Boom boom. With a dull explosion, the planet under Ningcheng's feet finally cracked open. Under the next wave of thunder tribulation, it turned into countless meteorites that flowed through the starry sky. As the broken planet under Ningcheng's feet exploded, Ningcheng's thunder tribulation finally dissipated. There were no starry sky spirit clouds, nor did any starry sky spirit rain fall. Ningcheng had long since become accustomed to this. His thunder tribulation rarely gave him such benefits. Instead, he only got bombarded by powerful lightning arcs. He wasn't afraid of this kind of bombardment. The more powerful the lightning arcs, the stronger he would become. In the end, one day, it wouldn't be the thunder tribulation that bombarded him, but him talking to the thunder tribulation. After restraining his wildness, Ningcheng cleaned himself up. changed into a set of clean clothes, and stood in the starry sky. From the misunderstanding with Tian Muan to the mysterious yellow bead taking him to the graceful star mainland, how many years had passed? During this period he had experienced countless life and death situations, countless joys and sorrows. Today he finally advanced to the eternal realm. In this part of the starry sky, he finally had the right to speak. With his strength in the eternal realm, even if Chuan Xinlo stabilized his cultivation, so what? Ningcheng raised his hand, and the time wheel, which originally needed to form a few hand seals, seemed to form naturally in his palm. It then turned into a gray shadow and shot out. One day, when I raise my hand, time will flow backwards, and this part of the starry sky will stand still. Ningcheng took in a deep breath, looked at the vast starry sky, and spoke with a firm tone. If he could make this part of the starry sky stand still, he would no longer have to work so hard to cultivate. He could travel the entire universe with his family. He believed that he could do it. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.